All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any other Christian group, Israel camp, Israel organization, or Muslim mosque. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, and the truth is that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews according to the scripture, and our oppressors is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. You know what I'm saying? Any questions? Questions in the room before I get started? Can't see who it is. Don't let them in. Any questions? Live? All right, we're going to keep it moving. Before I get started, I wanted to say Yahweh Shem Shah to the brothers, Yahweh Shem them by Shem Yahshua to all the sisters. The water for tuning into DC's Wednesday night scripture breakdown. Captain Shaw will be with us shortly. Until then, I'm standing in place for the man of the Most High, and we're gonna get into what's going on in Israel today. And what's going on in Israel right now? We have something that just happened. Some breaking news that just happened. You know, young Dirk was just shot dead at a shop. Just shot dead at a shop. I saw a post where, you have something? Young Dolph, Salakia. Young Dolph was shot dead in Memphis, Tennessee, at a shop, like a coffee donut shop, where you just shot dead. They actually had posted a picture and video of the crime scene. You know, outside of the crime scene, but even still where the crime scene was, where he was shot dead, you can see where his body was. And this is posted on social media. This is reminiscent of Michael Brown when he was shot dead in the street like a dog and just laid there for hours. And it was all over social media, all over the news, like it was nothing, like we were nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to show you, no matter how much money you get, how much money you make, how much fame you attain, we are still under these curses. You know what I'm saying? We're still under these curses, and because we're under these curses, we can't escape the judgment of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I feel for that brother's family, and for I don't even know what all transpired, but one of the brothers was telling me that he was just on social media, you know, going spouting off. I don't know what the beef was about, but no matter how much fame and notoriety or money you have, if you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you're still up under these curses. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there who believe all they got to do is get the practice that jump shot, you know, a few hundred times a day. Practice their layup a few hundred times, they're dribbling or whatever, or throwing the ball, or running, you know, brother, or running a certain speed. You know what I'm saying? Just to get up out the hood. When really you can never escape the hood, no matter where you go. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15, Baba Bashar. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Read it when you got it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So it says, it shall come, it will happen. This will happen. You know what I'm saying? That what we're talking about. This will happen if you want. The water. This will happen if you don't listen to the Most High. And when he says listen, it's not just listen, it's actually doing what the Most High is commanding. Because this is not suggestions, it's not guidelines. It is a commandment, right? Keep going.
Come. To observe, to do all his commandments.
Just like I said, to observe and to do all of his commandments, right?
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these overtake thee.
So no matter what you do, if you try and even if you succeed in writing, bars that the oppressor gives you $100,000 for a hot 16 every time, and then you go out on the road and you sell out shows and sell out arenas, or you get drafted into the NBA or drafted into the league or whatnot. No matter how much money you get, no matter how much fame you get, how much notoriety you get, all these curses is gonna what? Read that last part again.
Come. All these curses shall come upon thee.
It will come upon you. What?
And overtake thee.
And overtake you. It doesn't matter where you go. No matter if you get up out the hood. If you try and integrate, blend in with the suburbanites or the elites, be in a safe neighborhood, all these curses are going to come on you and overtake you. Young Dolph is a part of this nation, and these curses overtook him. You know what I'm saying? This is biblical stuff that's happened to us, and just because he had, he came out with albums, he had jewels in his teeth, you know what I'm saying, jewels on his hands and jewels on his wrists and around his neck. He was shot down just like Ray Ray or Lil Jon or Pookie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He was no different than the average nigga that gets shot down in Southeast. You know what I'm saying? Or PG County. Or down in Dade County. Or on the West Coast, anywhere that we reside, or in the barrios of Rio de Janeiro. He was no different because he belongs to this nation. Even though he made all this money and whatnot, he tried to get out the hood and whatnot, he still was a part of these curses. Right? Get me, was that it on that verse?
Sir.
Give me 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Right?
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. He was in the city, he got gunned down. Trayvon Martin was in the suburbs. It wasn't in the city, but that was like sort of out in the fields, right? Got gunned down. 72-year-old grandmother was lynched in the goddamn park. You understand what I'm saying? These are curses that are specific to Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. No matter if you rich, if you poor, if you highly educated or illiterate, if we don't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, we will be destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. There's something else. Read that first. Read 15 and 16 for me, young Papa Kashar.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the fields.
Right? Hold on 1 second. Right, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. We Michael Brown was shot down in the city. You know what I'm saying? Ahmaud Arbery, you can argue that he was shot down in the field. You know what I'm saying? He was hunted. The oppressor hunts our steps, and this is what happens. This is what happens to all of Israel. Just because you think you can go and get educated. Go and get your master's degree, your bachelor's, get 2 bachelors and a master's, and then you get a doctorate, and go on and be able to use words that none of us have ever heard of, you know what I'm saying? and get, be in front of peoples that we only see on TV, or we read about in books or in the newspapers. Just because you get around in that circles, if you belong to the nation of Israel, these curses shall overcome you and overtake you. I saw a story about Wyclef Jean, who was following laws and whatnot, and he was pulled over and being accosted just like he was some dumb nigga in New York. Pulled over and was searched and berated just like he was nobody. You know what I'm saying? But this is Wyclef Jean, who was part of the group, the Fugees, who's sold multi-millions of albums, won Grammys, traveled the world. Everybody, I'm not even gonna say everybody, but a lot of people know who he is. You know what I'm saying? And he was home based out of New York City. He got pulled over in New York. You know what I'm saying? In front of his kids, cursed out, dragged out of his car, cursed out, talked greasy and grimy to in front of his kids, and he was still being quote unquote respectful. You know what I'm saying? He was being respectful, and they still did this to this multi-platinum artist. Scripture says the curses shall overcome you. It means it's going to chase you down no matter where you go, how far you've gotten in life. It is going to overcome it and overtake you. You could give me verse 54 about the shark. Someone give me 54.
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
Hold on. So the man that is tender and very delicate, what does that mean?
I mean, young and not experienced.
Exactly. These young boys who really don't have any guidance about them. They're what?
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Now he was in Memphis. I'm not sure if Young Dirk was actually from Memphis, but he was in the hood. You know what I'm saying? People were.
I mean, Dolph.
The Young Dolph. I'm not sure of Salaki again. I'm not sure if this brother was from Memphis, but he was in the hood. And if you have fame and notoriety, a lot of times they describe blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as crabs in a barrel. If you see someone shining, a lot of times we try and do something to pull them back down. You know what I'm saying? We say and do things to degrade whatever that person has done to elevate himself out of that situation that he was once in right beside you, but now he is not or she is not, and you're still down there at the bottom, right? So a lot of times this happens because they don't have guidance, like righteous guidance, where real brotherhood lies. They're going to look at each other like they have like they did, right? But yet that's his brother. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not even going to say that. But he looks at him like his op. When that comes directly from the scripture, he looks at them and sees it and sees the jewels, and he got so much money and so much jewels that he puts it in his teeth. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? Israel. You know what I'm saying? We do that. You got something?
It started with Solomon, right?
That's one of the early scriptures. Yeah. It's one of the early scriptures. So yeah, it started with us. We have so much stuff that we actually have jewels in our teeth, and they actually have skeletons of our brothers up. And with that,
Finish your point.
Even that we have skulls with Native Americans that have they found skulls with jewels still embedded in the teeth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just Judah and Benjamin that does this. You know what I'm saying? It's the northern tribe that does this as well. And with that, I pass the class to priest and captain. Captain of the shop.
Yeah, so what's going on? Concert. Question. Get us find a little bit.
Kind on kind. Might need to adjust this light here. All right. Any questions? Go ahead.
It's a lot to that. He asked about the question earlier, and the question, I mean, it's really on a confirmation.
Oh, so somebody was switching on my Bible.
Confirmation on the scripture. The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 26. This is like a proper breakdown. If I may, I was breaking it down myself, and I thought it was talking about the Lord and his angels and how he called on them to be able to show his power.
Okay. All right, let me hear.
Book of Isaiah. Let's get into the sloppy stuff. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 26.
What you was asking?
I was like, am I breaking it down right? As far as I was saying that, basically talking about the Lord and how he'll call on his host, which is his army, by number, to exalt his power and show his power.
Okay.
Through them. It's not the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 26. Mm-hmm. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who have created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might.
Read it again from the top.
I'm
gonna drop this a little bit, sorry, for question. Go ahead,
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 26. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who have created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might, for that he is strong in power, not one faileth.
All right. What you were saying was?
That lift up your eyes on high, and behold and watch and see, who have created these things. When you say these things, talking about everything the Lord has created.
What is this? What is the whole thing talking about? What is the whole chapter talking about so far?
The whole chapter?
Yeah, up to this point.
The audience is Israel, and
what you got again? Isaiah what?
Isaiah 40 and 26.
Okay.
But the audience is Israel, and it's saying say to Israel, about the Lord, the things that he has made, like what you gonna put beside him? Are you gonna put these things beside him? And like talking about the other nations, like these other nations, basically what they believe in, who they are nothing to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? When it gets down to this particular scripture, this particular verse, I was saying that it was speaking of the host, the Lord talking about the host, which is the army, I believe, and he's saying he calleth them all by names, and by the greatness of his might, but that he is strong in power, basically to show how exalted he is.
Go ahead.
But I was trying to see if that was
You grab it before no sweat. I'll come back to you, all right? Go ahead and grab your door and stuff like that. Any questions from anybody else? Any questions online?
Lots of questions.
No sweat. All right. Somebody read from verse 24 for the brother.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 24. Yea, they shall not be planted. Yea, they shall not be sown. Yea, their stock shall not take root in the earth. And he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble.
You want to read on?
Concert.
I appreciate it.
Verse 25. To whom then will ye liken me? Or shall I be equal, saith the Holy One?
So now, in the verse before, what was he talking about, Shabbat?
Salaki, you talking about verse 25?
24.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Salaki, if I could hear it again, I was.
No sweat.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 24. Yea, they shall not be planted. Yea, they shall not be sown. Yea, their stock shall not take root in the earth. And he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25.
What's he saying in 24?
It's like he was saying, basically talking about the other nations and how what they believe in, what they do won't take root. Like it means nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's what he's talking about, right? Because he's talking about how the leaders of the enemies of Israel, they try to set something in motion, but the Lord can make sure that shit doesn't come to nothing, because He's in charge of everything. It's like a decree. Remember, like when after 9/11, remember United Nations got involved, right? And at that time, United Nations president was a Hamite. His name was Kofi Annan, and he said, "Let's wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna do a thorough investigation." What did George Bush say? Anybody remember?
He said he wasn't going to do an investigation.
What else?
I don't know what else.
Anybody? Anybody else remember? He said, if you're not with us, you're against us. And I think a couple of days later, he dropped bombs. You understand? He went up there and talked about the American public and we can't be held victim and we this, we that. And he made a decree. And he said, at this point, if you are not with us, you are against us. Meaning, we'll bomb NATO if we have to. We'll go to war with everybody, whoever wants to come bring it, because he's exacting his authority. He's letting you know, without an investigation, we're supposed to wait until you find something. No, we're gonna handle this thing here. It's a decree. So here he's making a decree on behalf of the Lord, saying the Lord he's not suffering this nonsense that's going to happen, or whatever they want to come with. You get the point? Go ahead.
Verse 25. To whom then will ye liken me? Or shall I be equal? Mm-hmm. Saith the Holy One.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's he saying there?
Talking about me still?
Yep. This is your question, right?
So basically, so you gonna try to make them equal with me? I can destroy them, or they're nothing to me.
When you say who will you liken me?
Will make like me.
Right. Who will you make like me? Right. Wait, hold on. So verse 25, right?
Come.
To whom then will ye liken me? What does that mean?
Who you compare me to?
Yeah. Who can you compare me to? Who can you even, who? Who can see me? That's how Israel talks today. Who gonna see me? Who gonna see me? It's like, who will you liken me to? Like, look at the nations around, look at their powers, look at their gods, look at all their might. He's saying, who you could liken me to? Who could you say, well, yeah, their God is like you, or you just like them? You can't say that about the God of the Bible. There's nobody you could compare him to. All the others try to join themselves to him. The Islam try to join themselves. We respect Moses and Christ and so. But there's nobody who could come and say does any other book, any other religion have a creation story? Have you ever heard a creation story from anybody? Just think about it. Now, they might have one. I don't know. But I know everybody heard Adam and Eve. You get the point? Like, that's to show you there's a difference. There's a whole league in between us and them. You get the point? The Lord is not them. He's not nowhere in their league. You get the point? They're not nowhere in his league. You get the point? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 26. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who hath created these things, that bringeth out their host by number.
All right.
He calleth them all by name.
What does that mean right there? Slappy, what was your question on this?
I was basically asking, was that a correct breakdown to say that 26 was talking about
his army. Like if I saying the Lord, he could call the army by name, and they're gonna come out in numbers. And that
let me see. I think that's probably just narrowing down to one thing. You understand? That's okay. It's narrowing it to one thing. Meaning, like, okay, he's saying all of this here, and you're relating it only to an army, versus the Lord is in charge of everything.
Okay.
You understand? You're narrowing it to one thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. So
right. So just read it back again. Let me hear.
This 26.
Yeah.
Lift up your eyes on high and behold who have created these things.
What is that talking about?
Everything.
You lift up your eyes on high. Look up and around. Who has created these things? What are we talking about?
The Most High.
No.
The universe, the moons, the stars, planets.
Everything. The sun, the mountains, the rivers, the waterfalls, the great animals, the great cities. Everything you see, who has created these things? Of course, the Most High. But the things he's talking about is not just an army. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't look up on high and just see an army. You understand? You could look outside, look up on high during a storm, brother, and get amazed by the lightning. You can get the storm is so amazing. These Edomites, they form themselves and call themselves storm chasers, and they drive into the tornado because they need to study what makes this thing go like that. And they tell you, the tornado is like it has a brain of its own. It turns left on a dime. It stops. It follows a pattern as if somebody's telling it where to go. You go and follow any one of them storm chasers, they'll tell you that. The officer in Oklahoma, I.S.U.P.K, he lives in Oklahoma, which is in that region for tornadoes and those types of storms. He's in his house one night. The power goes out. Just before the power goes out, they tell, I think the siren, when they have those tornado sirens. They had a storm. Across his street, all the houses gone. And he's seeing it. But his side is fine. And he's there, he's talking, he's telling me the whole story. He's like, man, I know the Lord is real. Because you look at our side, you wouldn't know nothing happened. But you look over there, everything is just gone. The Lord is in the storm. That's an angel moving. Who has created all these things? The Most High. You get the point? So it's not just the army, it's everything. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. That bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power, not one faileth.
Right? Everything, like whatever it is, nothing has failed what he has made to that he allows to develop. You get the point? Nothing has failed. Right? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 27. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest, O Israel, my way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my God.
Okay, you read it a little bit different. It's a question.
Okay. Verse 27. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speaketh, O Israel, my way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my God.
Okay, it's different. You're not reading like a question. Read it like a question. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest, O Israel, my way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my God? It's like a question. Like, is he saying, do you think that you could hide anything from this man? Like, why would Israel say in themselves, my way is hidden from the Lord? Or how they operate, the Lord ain't gonna know. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Why is he saying that?
Because the Lord is controlling and created everything.
He's the most powerful. He knows everything. He in charge of everything. There's nothing you can do that is hid from him. You understand?
Okay.
So it's everything. Now you could use it for the host of the army, but it's everything. It's in everything. But of course, this, when you read up in the whole chapter, this is definitely talking about how more superior he is than the heathens and the gods of the heathens. Right? That was your point he was trying to make?
Yeah, because
Of course, you could take this off.
like I was having a conversation, and it was being used for the planets and everything. But as you go down, it can be used for the planets.
It's everything.
Everything.
It's everything. Right now, is the person saying it's the planets only?
In our conversation, person said these things like these. So it's like more than
Okay.
the post is about the planets and everything.
Okay, now, if the post is about the planets, lift up your eyes and look on high.
Come.
Can you see the planets looking on high?
Come.
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
You can't.
I really can't.
Go outside and find Mars for me right now. You can't. Can you go outside and look and see?
But
No.
But Sly, I'll give the benefit of doubt of them saying that it basically saying, look up, you know, the Lord created everything. So even with somebody, they will comment on
that's
somebody
true.
else's.
That's true with the planets and everything. But to say this is specifically talking about the planets, he said, look up high and tell me what you see. Tell that fool to look up high right now.
Sly, I don't want to say that them personally. The post is about, it showed a bunch of planets.
Okay.
And then they posted this scripture. And when I got to talking to them about it, you know, said my impression of what they were talking about were basically the Lord created these things. So I want to say that I look at it the same way as they do.
Okay, it's saying the Lord created everything. It's saying He's mighty and powerful, and the whole host of heaven, the whole host of the earth. The host is a contextual word too. It doesn't always mean the host of the army. It could be the host of whatever we have here, the whole host, the entirety of it. You get the point? So it's everything. That's where you really want to go. It's everything, because now when you start and put it to one, no, it's the army, no, it's the stars, no, it's this, no, it's that. It's like, you know, it's I don't want to say belittling, but it's narrowing it.
So would you say like it's taken away from the spirit of it?
I would say so. This year is that He is in charge of all. Whatever you see, whatever is existing, whatever is thriving, whatever is dying, He in charge of all that shit. Right? And He could call it to do whatever He wanted to do. You get the point? Like that's the more spirit of what He's saying here. That's why He say, who can you compare to me? You get the point? Go ahead.
So like after the breakdown though, I kind of feel like I was more narrowing it down to more one thing, and I feel like they were more on the whole broad spirit of it.
I don't know, because what purpose is it that He created Mars and Jupiter to the nigga on crap? How the hell does that help him?
Like it means nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that part, what you just said. I wouldn't say that part. You just want to understand that, okay, for your people, you want to get to the point of fishing. Don't get into the whole, don't become scholastic with this shit. You get the point? You in the Lord's army. You get the point? Your whole mission is different. You're not, don't try to be, you know, scholastic is the best word. Don't get caught up in stupid debates. Like at the end of it, the meaning of the scripture means that somebody gets to come into the truth. So now, how does the planets help this nigga say, you know what, man, I'm gonna stop smoking this weed and go study about Mars? It doesn't affect anything. How does it stop black on black crime? How does it stop, how does it stop people from being Christian, knowing Christianity is the religion and the ways of our oppressor? How does that stop it? But what does stop it is there is a power who's greater than Christianity, greater than Mars, greater than the oppressor, and He gonna kill the oppressor. You get the point? That would make somebody be like, tell me about this one, because Allah say love everybody. Now we could go somewhere. You get the point? You don't want to get into stupid little. Don't, definitely as a young brother, don't pattern yourself into a dumb argument. You want to come in there and make the whole room listen to you if you're battling online. You want to come in there and change the whole flow of the thing because you operating above. Once again, if you're a prince of the power, you Yasha Allah. You the prince of the power. He just said, who could liken me to anybody? When you step in there, brother, it got to be like, okay, well, this nigga here, he's drowning all of us because we can't argue with him. Or everybody turns to fight you. That's a sign too that you're above the whole thing. Now, if you start, no, it's talking about Mars. No, it's talking about the mountain. You're wasting bullets there. You're wasting your time. You get the point? Your thing should be to fish. To fish. How could I go in there and make this argument so I can fish somebody into the truth? So I can, anybody reading this thread 3 months later, gonna be like, damn, hey, what you saying was so heavy. Where you learn this? UPK. You get the point? You don't really want to get into something that's just, it doesn't really, what's the profit of it? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, of course, you could do it, ain't no sin. Me personally, I wouldn't even sweat that. We good? Anything else? You sure? Anybody else? Good to go? Any questions? Just check online, let me know, all right?
Come on, sir.
Tonight, I definitely want to get into that, not so much into it, but I definitely want to check on it a little bit. Seems to be trending is black celebrities and their marriages for some goddamn reason. First, we had Will Smith, right? Will Smith and Jada, right? But Will Smith has a movie coming out, right? King Richard, right? Well, he's supposed to be the father of Serena Williams and them. So it kind of makes sense. And he also has a book coming out. I forget the name of the book, but it's supposed to be like an autobiography of himself and what he went through and all that good shit. Right? So now we have controversy following them. Now we have the baby, right? The baby who just coming out of, the crosshairs of the LGBTQ community for the statement he made in some concert about, if you're not, giving oral sex in the car park and you don't have AIDS, make some noise. Somehow the LGBT communities, think it's about them. I wouldn't know why, but, they decided to cancel him, stop him from doing shows. Them Arabs saw what they did and they brought him down to Dubai to do a whole tour, that Arab money long. Because of course, the Islam supposed to be against homosexuality too. So they went and showed him some love, took him all the way down to Dubai. So he made some money. Right? And he came on back. And now the whole internet is in an uproar over him and his woman beefing. Now for the life of me, I can't put my finger on what the beef is about. And I was hoping somebody could help me out. Please tell me. Because I seen, he go live, they're arguing something about a little child. But I don't understand what the argument is about. Go ahead.
The baby was telling Danny Lee, whatever her name is, to get out the house because he's already dealing with another woman.
You sure that's the end all and be all of it? It don't seem like that. That's what you're getting from it.
That's the beginning.
I don't know. Anybody else?
And on top of that, she had his baby.
Okay.
Right? So, and then when he said online, he's like, he was my side bitch. But so after that, like he said, he told her to get out the house, and she like, well, I'm your woman.
I'm your woman. God damn, that's rough on the girl.
And he so he talking about he's gonna call the cops and all this stuff. It's just messy, just like the industry.
It's okay. That's okay. I saw the part where he said get out of the house, but I didn't know what the hell it was about. I thought maybe he found out with some brother. Maybe he found out the baby is not his, which is crushing for a brother. I'm gonna say crushing situation.
It's a lot. He made, in the comment, I didn't know about it. He said that she was a side bro, whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
But like he's everywhere taking pictures. You don't usually take pictures with your side chick. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know this cat personally.
Everywhere taking pictures.
I don't know him personally. I wouldn't play into too much of the picture shit. Okay, so this beef is not like he catch a hoe in on it.
Sir.
This is just,
just want her to get out, and I guess he probably wanted further do his thing or whatever. So,
he's using this as an excuse that like her immediate family is messy and that will bring that mess into his house. So he's using that as further excuse to get her out.
Okay, explain that part to me.
Like there's some situation, some stuff going on with like her brother and her parents or something like that could creep into the house, and he's like, I think he's using that as an excuse
to get around. It's like saying, well, you see, you bringing all this mess in here because you wasn't straight when you came in here, and I brought you in here to try and get you straight from that. But it's too much. I don't want you in here no more because of some.
Now that shit makes sense to me, because the other shit, you can't see a full out reason why he go to that extreme. From my experience, not experience, but just from seeing him publicly as a public figure, this move is a little bit unhinged for him. He seems to be a very deliberate, well-planned person. He doesn't seem to be, oh shit going bad, let me go live and show the world. He doesn't seem, because he's not like that with anything else. Does he go live with his family and his brother? And he's not that, open of a person. So that part there makes sense. Like if it is that, okay, he put her in his house to get her away from her family, which sometimes happen. Sometimes that shit happen where the broad, because, okay, she's the weaker vessel, she can't cut her people off. And you trying to get her to cut her people off. And now you did this, and it seems like she's bringing them here. Now I had to cut you off. That seems a more realistic, plausible situation. However, this is what we have to understand. The baby has albums coming out. She's also a singer that makes music, right? This whole thing could be just to drive up sales. Don't be surprised if in the next 4 weeks she bring out a song talking about, I found the man, forget the baby, and he bring out a song about, I don't know, something. Wasn't she involved in some light skin, dark skin controversy recently? That's the same one, right? That's what I thought. That was the same one. Don't be surprised if this is just another Jay-Z and Beyonce, and now it's Becky with the good hair versus, you lost one, some kind of thing, just to drive up their albums, their records. That's number one. Number two, like I told you, he doesn't seem that type to go live, right? He does seem the type that's, what's called this thing? Trolling. He does seem like that trolling type, because what he did is what sisters do to brothers. What sisters do to brothers in the world every day. Go like, look at this no good nigga. I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the cops on you. I'm calling the cops. Get out my house. Get out my house. Like that's what, sisters do to brothers all the time. That's going on right now. Y'all know somebody who's going through that shit right now. Right now. You get the point? So it could be a whole trolling thing. They both look in on it, because for the life of me, I don't know no sister, much less a celebrity, who's going to allow herself to be seen on camera first thing in the morning like that. You understand? She's a far cry from what we see on them videos. And not to disrespect the sister, but I would imagine she would leave the room once the live is on. She's fully participating in the whole thing. This shit just don't seem like a full-out beef to me. I don't know. You get the point? It don't seem... She ain't hysterical. And where's the baby? The baby ain't even there. Where's the child? The child was there? You understand? Where the fuck is the child? I ain't sure this whole thing is real, but I'll tell you what is real. Our marriages is real. The rest of Israel who going through something like this for real, where the woman holding the phone and the baby falling out her damn arm and the next arm, going live. Look at y'all. Look at it. Look at this deadbeat, no good so-and-so. I'm going to call the cops on you, blah, 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 blah. And then he's on the other end saying what? Why you got to do all of that? Why you got to do this? That part is real. The cops showing up and kicking in your door and, or showing up and knocking the door and treating you like you, the criminal, off the break, off a her phone call. That part is real. You get the point? That part is totally real. So this could be a whole trolling thing, just trolling that situation. If it's not, well, the brothers suffered it for a while. One sister suffered. What the hell? What you want? What you want me to do? Yeah, I mean, y'all was all back in jail. I think it two months ago, talking about Will Smith this and Will Smith that. The table's turned now. What you want? You get the point? So now, okay, a few things what he said, right? Because let me know if there's any questions online. So there's a few things what he said. I don't have the timestamps for it, nor do I really need it unless you could find it. You could find the video with him saying, okay, now she was a side chick, right? She was a side chick. She was a side chick. He done had sex with her. He's been having sex with her. Full of stuff. Now, this, for just what Shepard was just talking about there, something like this. Now, you would go in the room if you have this type of battle, and you would drop it heavy on them. You get the point? Now, because the trending thing is he's wrong, she's wrong. You get the point? The whole trending thing is he shouldn't have go live. She shouldn't have been laid up in the nigga house. He wrong for that. He wrong for this. Nobody know them niggas. So you can't say who wrong and who right. But you do know your cousin. You do know your auntie. You get it? You get the point? Right. Sometimes it's closer to home. Right. You do know yourself. Right. You understand? And you know what you doing wrong. You know what the other person doing wrong. You do know. You get the point? So now you go in there and you take them to a different stage of it. Forget the two of them, man. Them niggas gonna be back together in 2 months. Right. They're gonna be back together making music together. This is just Jay-Z and Beyonce 2.0. Right. That's all it is. This ain't no big deal. They had a little, argument. Everybody feeling sorry for the girl because they like the girl because she's pretty. But that ugly auntie I have, ain't nobody feeling sorry for her. Right. Everybody feeling he wrong for doing that to her. He wrong. How you know the nigga wrong? Oh, suppose she all put together on camera, but she's burning his clothes in the background. Suppose she's, stabbing him in his sleep. Suppose she's, doing what? How the hell you know? You don't know? Well, y'all see this little pretty little, curly hair girl, and y'all, oh, he wrong for doing that shit. What? You don't know him. You don't know him. But you do know your uncle. You do know that best friend you got. You do know yourself. You get the point? So first off, the first thing he said, that was his side chick. What would be the response to that? Anybody?
Black, that's his real.
Break it down.
He lay with her, so once you lay with a woman, that's your wife.
That's your wife. That end the story. Give me Exodus 22:16. This is not for the baby, but this is for you. Right. This is for you. Right? This is for you who out there. And the reason why this is relevant to black people is because we pattern our lives after the oppressor, even our celebrities. Right? And seeing some shit like this is going to inspire somebody to do the same. You cannot do the same. You cannot fall and follow after them. You're going to have to understand that what you up against is a very well carefully crafted plan to destroy black households. You get the point? To destroy the black family, to destroy the black community. And you can't fall up underneath that. Read scripture, whoever has it, all right? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. Mm-hmm. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right? If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and he lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. Surely mean that you done had sex with her. There's no doubt now. Right. There's no doubt now. You can negotiate for a woman and she can be promised to you, but the sex is what makes the marriage. Right. You get the point? Without the sex, there is no marriage. The sex is what makes it. Young brother, you had sex with that girl. Sister, you had sex with that boy. I don't care if y'all never had sex again. Y'all married. You get the point? Okay. Brother done been married, had a baby, had a little girl or something like that, 3 months old, whatever. You can't now say, now this is your side piece. This is, now even the side piece means what? What does the side piece thing mean?
Another wife. Actually.
And the other wife would be what? Bro, help the brother there with these babies, all right? Just bring them over for him. Right? You check the babies too, and all. Put the gun to the head, check the babies too, hell. Yes, young soldiers, get them used to it, God. Yeah. Right? What would that mean? He has another woman, and what would that mean for her?
That means that she cannot have another man.
Not talking about the other woman. He's okay. If he said she is a side piece, what does that mean? What does he say?
In the context of what he's saying, that means that she's the second, not second wife, but she's a.
If I'm eating and somebody say,
no, I was gonna say that if you're referring to the other woman, he's saying if this one is a side piece, the other one is his favorite, is his main.
The other one is his main. Get the point?
His main.
The other one is his main. Right? If he's making a big issue of, okay, this is his side, then the other one got to be the main, right? Or there's one who is a main, right? That's impossible. Again, biblically. Give me the scripture. What do I want?
So can you ask the question one more time, sir?
If he has it, if he said she's his side, which would mean he has a main some way. That's biblically incorrect. It's not right. It's not in the right spirit. I need the precept. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
If he take him
So
another...
you just pass the thing around, all right? You ain't got to walk it around. I need you to put them precepts up there on that bill. All right, just pass it around. It'll make its way back to you.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish?
The water. Go ahead. There's more.
Verse 11. And if he do not these three unto her.
Hold on, no, that's it. I think that's it. Where's the one with the and he hated the one? Is it up further up right there in that verse? Where you at? Exodus 1?
Exodus chapter 21.
Mm-hmm. 21 and what?
I went to 10 first.
To what? Okay, that's one. We'll take that one first, right? So that's one. Read it one more time again.
Come. Exodus chapter 21, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish?
Right? If he take another wife, his food, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. What does that mean?
It means that the clothes that she was getting, the sex they were having.
Which part is the sex they were having?
The duty of marriage.
That's the duty of marriage, because that's what the marriage is. Marriage is sex. That's it. Y'all could be arguing all the time. If you're still having sex, you're gonna be fine. Say something funny? That's how I say, bloody hell. It's the truth. Y'all could be arguing. Y'all could have, difference of opinions. It's not a sin to have a difference of opinion. It's not a sin to argue. Now, the minute y'all start having sex with each other, that's when it's dangerous. That's when it's a dangerous thing. Once that bed get cold, y'all could be arguing. Once that bed is hot, brother, y'all gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Y'all just continue. Just continue doing it. Don't black nobody's eye, but y'all gonna work that thing out. All right, what else? Keep going.
Come. Verse 11.
No, I want the other one.
So I have the
You
one.
have it?
I have the one regarding the children.
Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have two wives, one
That's
beloved,
too.
come good.
Right? So what?
Come. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
You understand? Anybody understands that? Break it down for me, young man.
Come, sir. Pretty much all what he's saying in this, that everything cannot. There's no favoritism, so it's got to be equaled out.
You ain't breaking it down for me. That's making a statement, though. Give him a chance. Because you're not clicking with
with one of your wives,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't take it out on your child, because that is your child as well.
Okay, I'll take that. Anybody else?
I would say, even if you hate that wife, you still can't take what is rightfully hers according to the law.
Well, it's not the inheritance ain't hers. Who does the inheritance go to?
The son.
Exactly. It's not hers. Right? She doesn't inherit anything.
Right.
The child does.
Right.
Come on.
It's like, but wouldn't it benefit her to have her son get the inheritance versus another woman's son?
It would benefit her, but it's not hers.
Right.
If it was hers, that would mean she would be king. You get the point?
Okay.
It is absolutely not hers. It's the son's. You get the point?
Okay.
And of course, if you did your job and raised a good son, he'll take care of everybody.
Right.
You get the point? He'll take care of the family, which is what happens when in a family, when it's time to pass it on. You pass it on, everybody looking at one person. No, remember David. Nobody looked at David to pass it on.
Right.
You get the point?
Okay.
It's like the father know who he want to pass this on to. Because if I give it to you, nigga, you're going to starve a third of the nation. You get the point?
Okay.
This brother here, he going to make sure everything is right. He going to make sure everything is solid. You get the point? He's different.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
But you can't make that decision because you hate the mother. You get the point? No, that's the situation. So he telling her, get out the goddamn house with the 3-month-old. I mean, once again, this class is not really for them. I don't give a damn about them, man. They got millions of dollars. Even the part with her not wanting to leave is baffling me. This bitch done made records out. This bitch is a millionaire. She could go anywhere. But your auntie, your cousin, that broad who you ain't want to deal with no more, she ain't got nowhere else to go. She done moved with it. What you gonna do with her? You get the point? Like, that's for this. I'm using them so you listen. But this is more for you. This is more for us. You get the point? She could go wherever the hell she wants. She ain't suffering. That's why he said she cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm like, this nigga here wild as shit. Go ahead.
I have it pulled up whenever you
Go ahead. Which part you have?
I have it when he calls her. He says she cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and then she calls it side chick. That's
highly disrespectful. I want to feel bad for the girl, but the rest of your sisters done made this girl. She don't have a leg to stand on with me, Salakia. I'm going with the majority. The rest of y'all sisters be doing the same shit to brothers all the goddamn time and going and bragging and boasting about it. And so you'll never see the baby again. I'll take you for child support. Go ahead, hit me. Or you're not gonna hit me? Well, I'll call the cops and tell them you hit me anyway. One nigga do it, and now he's the enemy. I don't know. I want to feel bad for the sister here, but the rest of y'all done tamed the waters for me. So, go ahead.
Concert, just like the that Instagram model who got pregnant by the basketball player, and now she got $200,000 a month for child support.
Who's that?
I forget it. I can. What's that? Yeah, Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner.
Okay, I heard the name. I didn't know what the hell she was.
Yeah, she was an Instagram model. She married this young dude. He was like 19, 20. Fresh into the league. She's like 30 or something, 28.
Damn.
Got pregnant and divorced him like as soon as she had the baby. And then now she got like $200,000 a month for child support. And she's bragging about it on Instagram as well.
This is not okay. This is the other thing. Okay, not the other thing, but this. That's fine. He could make that. He'd have blown that from the strip club anyway. I ain't lying. Go look at Drake's lives and stuff. You know how much money Drake threw in the strip club at night? 30,000, 45,000, and say that's a light night. A light night. Just throw in money. Champagne poppy. That's a light night. $35,000. You know what I mean? Like that for that. What's his name? The basketball player?
I'm not sure the basketball player's name.
Whatever idiot that is, who paid him $200,000 a month, he could make that up. He could make it. All he had to do was show up for practice, and he making that money. But your uncle though, your cousin, your homie in the world, who can't afford it, you know what he's considering doing to that bro?
Concert. So like two things. His name is PJ Washington, and we had the DC sniper because of that.
Oh my God! How could I forget the DC sniper? Yikes! Yikes! Break it down with the DC sniper. You all know about the DC sniper, right? You all know why he shot up everybody? Come on.
I don't know the full detail of why he shooting. I thought it was.
Go ahead.
I thought it was because he had a thing for Caucasians.
Yeah, no, brother. No, it wasn't. Go ahead.
His plan was to eventually murder his wife. So he shot several other people across.
So it would look like a serial killer. He chose the wrong woman. Chose the wrong woman.
And so like, and his next target right before they caught him
was her. Exactly. The very next target before they caught him was her. Man, they had to lay her out first. Cut that from the tape. My point is that, once again, he's not rich and famous, but that's where we are driven to go. Them celebrities are, they, you know, I think I only heard of one of them trying to kill their baby mother, and that's that football player. Showing something? Ray Caruth, I think is his name. I think he shot the baby. The boy is, I don't want to say retarded, but because of the shot, the boy is, you know, he didn't develop the right way. The boy's alive now, I think.
It's like, it was another one too. A football player in North Carolina, he killed the wife, the kids, and then turned the gun on himself. It was in North Carolina. I forgot what team he played for.
I think that happened recent, right? Okay, but that's okay. He killed himself, so that might be something else too, or it could be the same thing. But I know this thing here, this brother, what's his name? Ray Caruth. He wanted to kill the broad because of the baby, right? He wanted to get rid of everybody, and I think he paid somebody to shoot up the damn car. The nigga couldn't shoot. He didn't kill the wife, right? She died, but the baby didn't die. No, the son is alive. The son is literally, he's alive. I think the bullet hit him in his head or some shit, but he's not fully developed. He's not fully developed. I think Ray Caruth is out now or something like that. He wouldn't go see the boy. Something they were saying about that.
I think he shot her as she was driving, so when they ran off the road, the son got injured. But the son lived.
Okay, but I thought the son was unborn when she got shot. Somebody check the story, right? Go ahead. Please.
Leviticus 26:26. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight.
Well, that's a good child support precept, but that's not what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about when, okay, in fact, it could go with it because, okay, the baby could afford child support. You can't. That was it PJ something, the basketball player?
PJ Washington.
He could afford $200,000 a month. You had to work, some of us 2 years, some of us 4 and 5 to see $200,000. Right. He's paying that in a month to some whore. You'd rather just kill the bro. You'd rather just do it. I'm just telling you straight. That's where brothers who are not in the baby shoes, where they go to get rid of the problem. Which is why we had to understand we can't look at what the hell they're doing and do after them. We can't do that. We can't afford, we don't have an outlet like Jay-Z to make Lost Ones. Or like Beyonce to make, you know, Yellow Lemonade, Becky with the good hair. And that's how we vent. Our vent means the police show up at the door and somebody's lip is busted. Our venting, our problems means somebody gets stabbed or shot or had to die. You get the point? That's how our venting means. You get the point?
Okay, so the story.
Please.
So Ray Caruth drove in front of her to get her to stop, and as she stopped, some dude came up and shot the car up. She managed to call the police and tell them what happened.
Right.
And she was 8 months pregnant, and the kid.
Yeah, that's what I heard. She was pregnant with the baby. She survived too, right?
She died.
She died, but the baby survived. Yeah, the boy survived, but the boy's jammed up right now. He ain't all the way, 100%. Come on.
No, sorry, but I was gonna say, like child support, you could just tell us oppression because what baby in the world needs $200,000 for 1 month to survive? Like that.
I'll tell you which baby. The baby you was calling her before you knew she was a whore. That baby. Before F you, bitch, and F you, nigga. It was, what's going on, baby? That baby need 250. Get it, boy? That's the baby that needed. Come on.
It's lucky. And before that, she's known to be dipping and diving in all types of celebrities before him. And then if I think she's already with somebody now.
Who's that?
The girl.
You see him, girl?
Yeah, she's a harlot.
God, well, God, I didn't know her. I thought that was his woman. I thought that was his woman. But once again, this is not. I'm not talking about them whether he's right or she's wrong. I don't give a damn. I'm talking about the people we know.
Right.
And it's some of us. You get the point? Now we know that this is, you don't label that person. That's your woman. That's your husband. That's the end of it. You get the point? If you have another one, you can't get rid of the first one, which is what he's doing. This is his side chick. Nigga, everybody on the table and you eating all. What's the problem? It's, the entree, the hors d'oeuvres, the dessert. It's all food and it's all yours. Like, you separate anything when the thing cannot be separated. Right. There's no separation in anything. All of them is yours. They're your possession. They're your property. Right. Our spirit in this kingdom, because of the oppression and because our oppressor is a beast, our spirit don't get perverted. Right, do me a favor. There's some ginger or something. You can just bring it for me out. There's a big bottle somewhere in that counter. Right? Where we was at? What was reading? What's the last scripture we was reading?
The last one was Leviticus 26.
Right? Well, that's the child support one. All right? But again, the child support one for sure is going to drive you somewhere else. You get the point? It's definitely going to drive you somewhere else. All right? And that comes from making bad decisions. Horrible decisions. Go ahead.
The one before that was Deuteronomy 21 and 15.
You can leave it on that table. Right? Say again?
Deuteronomy 21 and 15.
Right, 21 and 15, which is, I think your question was about the heir. Right? The heir, that's the wife, the mother doesn't inherit anything. The inheritance goes to the child. Which is where you get when you watch them older shows with the horse and swords and chainmail type shows, there's a great import on having a son from whichever wife they have, whichever mistress. The aim is to have a boy child because I have an heir. Right. I'm gonna give him an heir. He's the one. You get the point I'm talking about in the royal family. But even if it's a regular folk, that boy is gonna get this farm. That boy's gonna get this one horse. You understand? It's an import. A woman, that's what she really wants. You get the point? She wants to be able to give you that boy. You get the point? Come on.
It's like a good, maybe paraphrasing, a good precept would be Leah, that was Jacob's wife, right?
Mm-hmm. Rachel.
He didn't really like Leah like that.
Say again?
Jacob didn't really favor Leah,
and
he really liked Rachel. Like, he couldn't take his firstborn by Leah and take away his inheritance.
Okay, well, I believe Leah got the firstborn, right?
Come.
Right, Leah got the firstborn. Leah worked for that firstborn, though. She was the asshole for that firstborn, but not so much that Jacob didn't. Don't think like he didn't like her, like he hated her, which is what the precept is talking about. That precept is specifically he have this woman, and she gets on his nerves, and they can't reconcile, and he grows to hate her. You get the point? With Jacob, Rachel, and Leah, don't think he did not like her in that context. He just wanted Rachel. You understand? He was not attracted to Leah. Not like he hated her. He didn't want her. He wasn't negotiating for her. He was negotiating for Rachel. The father, with all best intention, even though he should not have done it, he did not want his eldest daughter being lonely and left to be an old maid because she was older. You understand? She was older. And of course, this younger one she getting requested for. Is the custom now. You have daughters. It's the natural progression. The older one gonna get married first. The next one will get married. The next one, as they get older. Now imagine they're all of marriageable age, and somebody come and they pass the older one and they take the next one. And they pass the older one, take the next one. Who you think she crying to at night? That nobody don't want me. She crying to her father. And any father's heart won't melt because the baby girl is crying. Right. So what does he tell her at night? God damn, you're some cold ass nigga. Everybody's just quiet like, bitch. So like,
you'll be all right. You're beautiful. I'm
a
help
what?
you get married.
I'm a what?
I'm gonna help you get married. I'm gonna take care of
you. Yeah, I'm gonna find you a nigga. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna find you a good brother. Blah 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 blah. And now here comes Jacob, who was remarkable to Laban. Laban said, "That's the one. That's the mark." Laban said, "Use the one. I'm gonna plot on you." And Laban told Leah, "Tonight, once you go in that tent, you go in behind. Don't worry about it. I'll let the sin be on me." He wanted Jacob to take Leah. His hope was that the next day Jacob would be, well, she's kind, she's generous. They didn't say she was ugly. Remember that. Some people teach that Rachel was pretty, Leah was ugly. They didn't say that. They said Rachel was stunning. She was like very, very pretty, right? It was so much that's what all they say about her. They didn't say nothing else. But they talk about Leah being tender-eyed, meaning this is a sisterly sister. This is what you want in the house at. You get the point? He was hoping that Jacob would just take Leah. Because why? Rachel ain't hurting for no suitors. And next nigga coming tomorrow for Rachel. You get the point? Another nigga is like, what? Jacob missed the mark? Shit. Dad, sell the goats. I want the dowry because Rachel's still on the market. She ain't hurting for niggas. You get the point? But Leah is going to hurt because ain't nobody coming for Leah. So it was a situation like that. He should not have done it because he outsmarted the brother. But that's that situation. This precept is talking about something else. This is a woman that you did want, that eventually, whatever happened between you all, that you start hating her. You get the point? You can't get along, you two can't get along, and you start despising her, you don't want to deal with her, you don't want to, nothing. That's what that precept is about. It's different with Rachel and Leah. You get the point? All right, where we at now? What was the last precept? What's the last one we was reading?
The last one was Deuteronomy 20:15.
Okay, no sweat. Right, so you get that. She can't be the side piece. She had to be the, that's your woman. You done laid with her, that's your woman. You go lay with another woman, guess what? That's your woman too. You go lay with another one. All three of them is yours. 4 or 5, how much ever you lay with, that's yours. And whatever problems they bring, brother, that's it. That's right. That's all. If you go buy 10 cars, do you abandon a car because it's leaking oil? No, you fix the oil, right? Right. You get the point. Do you abandon the car because it started to shake at 65? No. You just, drive it at 50. Right. That's all. I mean, I'll tell you the problems are shit. If you're going up 295 and you realize as soon as you hit 65, the shit starts shaking. Then drive at 50, nigga. You don't have, when you're going in such a hurry, leave early. Right. Just drive a little slower, the car don't make it. But you ain't gonna abandon the motherfucker. They ain't gonna abandon the damn car. They're all yours. What he's saying there is, of course, incorrect. But again, your uncle, your cousin, your brother in the world, he's going to say, that's my side piece too. And he can't do that. Now, let me ask, come on.
So, like, y'all come back to it, but I'm going to ask, so what he did with Leah, that was wrong, or that wasn't the custom to marry off your eldest daughter first?
It is the custom to marry your eldest daughter off first. It is the custom. The problem is they're all of marriageable age now. So how do I control who's coming to ask for who? Remember, he didn't come to Laban and ask for Rachel. He met Rachel at the well. You understand? Okay. He saw her first. He saw her first. It's different to where, I'm coming to you, which one of your daughters? And he'll say, well, listen, Leah, she ready. The father didn't have a chance to dress it the right way for Jacob. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's a father. You go to a father, he gonna tell you, yeah, how about this one over here? You might come to him and say, sir, Salakia, what about this one here? What about this one here? He's trying to steer you into a direction because whatever your personality is or your character, he thinks this is a better fit for you. And she's calling him all the time because, of course, a woman is not meant to be by herself. She's not. She is too much to handle. After a certain age, she gonna need to marry. And that's just it. She's gonna need a new daddy. It's, so much you can do. That bouncing on that knee only works for a certain time. After a while, she's gonna need a different type of bouncer. You just have to provide that shit for her. Now, listen, I'm telling it to you straight. I'm trying to help you all out so you all don't end up like the baby and Danny Lane, because their money is going to make them back together. We don't have money. So the end of our going live and talking about it, calling the cops, is a destroyed household. You get the point? Them two going to come together and spin this shit. You watch and see. This is nothing but, record sales. Absolutely nothing but it. So just that question is not so much that the father wanted Leah to be married first because she was the elder daughter. You understand? He wanted Leah to be married first. It's the war, brother. They could sit back there because it's just gonna clutter up the walkway a little too much. You can sit back there, right? He wanted Leah to be married first. You get the point? Yes, you have to jump down. He wanted Leah first. But of course, Rachel was a stunner, and sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes the traffic flow for a sister like that is just high. It's just high, and you can't, what are you going to do? Lock her inside so nobody see her? No. Go ahead.
End it off on the question. So he was wrong for deceiving.
It was not the right thing to do to the brother.
It
was not the right thing to do to the brother because, of course, now, the deed is done, and this is also what you need to learn too. Jacob was so righteous in that he did not put away Leah. He did not mistreat her. He did not, which is marriage is sex, but it's also honor. You understand? He took her and he gave her children. And that's that. He did it, and he did his duty to her. You get the point? Even though this is not who he really wanted, which is a level you're gonna have to get to. Which is why I said what I said first. Once y'all could have sex, there's nothing that's gonna destroy it. I'll pass tonight, brother. I'll pass. So that's water.
It's like a question. During the 7 years he was working for Laban for Rachel. Was he still courting Rachel as well, or he was just working for Laban?
It doesn't say, but you could assume, but it doesn't say. I wouldn't outright step and say yes, this was happening, because now somebody could say what Pri said. You get the point?
Okay.
But it's a deal that this girl is promised to you, and now that she's promised, it's gonna be like. Nobody could come and ask for her in that 7 years. Like it's not like she off limits. Just like the courtship system in here. Once a sister is courting a brother, you can't step to her. You could go ask, hey, she courted. It's done. You get the point? It's not there's nothing there. There's no room for anything there. So whether he was, actively taking her on dates or talking to her, that's kind of irrelevant. Because the deal was made in the first 7 years. You understand what I'm saying? The deal was made in the first 7 years. Really, this is just, the father was really just trying to get him to take Leah and move on. But he wanted Rachel. And what's he going to do? You know what I mean? He couldn't do nothing else at that point. Yeah, it was, he tried something. It did not work, right? And in this situation, it's not unlawful. It's against our law for you to go marry two sisters. It's unlawful. Is there something wrong with
I was just waiting to see if I could do my duty.
Okay, what do you need?
Sorry, I was see if anybody wanted to strong.
No sweat. The brother got it. It seemed like he handled it. So you got it, right? You too hard? No sweat. He gonna handle it. Don't sweat. Don't sweat. In future, you could just get up and ask him. You could just, go to him, pull him aside, Salaki. So you want me to handle it, and he'll just tell you, nah, I'll handle it. Don't just sit there You know, just get up and go ask her. Just I mean, I'm more than Tawab right here, brother. Tawada. I'm good.
It's okay.
This topic, if I start doing that, I'm gonna say something that you get the point. So yeah, it's that situation with him. It's unlawful for us to marry two sisters. Why?
Because the sisters will start to hate each other or compete with each other.
They're too close. They're two physical sisters. It's just too close. They're going to hate each other. That's her near kin. It's just too close. It's not something we can do. In Jacob's case, he did not willingly do this.
Right.
This was something he really had no control over. He trusted Laban. He went in the tent. The girl was there. He thinking, oh shit, tail. Look at me, brother. he went to sleep. There's something wrong there. He's like, well, you know what I mean? He came on the next morning and realized it was Leah. He's like, listen, what's going on? He said, it's our custom to take Leah. He said, but you didn't tell me that. I want Rachel. Listen, Leah is a good girl. She tell that he talking her up, hoping the brother would change his heart. But Israel is Israelite. You want what you want. You know what I mean? He wanted Rachel. He said, well, listen, she's 7 more years, dead. You know what I mean? You can imagine what's going on with Rachel. You know what I mean? And that's how they end up there, but it was not supposed to be like. Right? Somebody had that enough? Go ahead.
Was anyone, I might be reading to it, but was anyone punished for it?
No, because
in that particular
no one was punished for it. The fault would have been on Laban,
right? And
that's it. But there ain't no punishment for it. You get the point? Jacob could have been like, who is this in my tent? What are you doing here? You get the point? But he didn't do that. He went and he had sex with who was in there. Right? Is that how it works? So you just have sex with you go to sleep tonight. You roll over. Something wrong and warm there. You just gonna turn over in this trans world? In this, 6 feet, 7 speed automatic transmission world. You know what I mean? That's what you do? No. You get the point? It's the father working within the law, hoping Jacob would just take Leah. Right? What would normally happen is you've done your time, you paid your dowry. Daughter, this is your husband, this is my daughter, take care of her. You'll go ahead and get busy. So he know who he going to intend with. Right. That's not what happened. You get the point? So it's not like Jacob was at fault. It's just the father trying to be a good father. Okay. Right? Come on.
It's like it, sir. But wasn't the plan for the ceremony to get him sauced up so that when he did go in the tent,
that part of vague. That's why I ain't say that part. You probably had to find it. I don't think there was alcohol. I ain't too sure. You could find it for me. I don't think it was that type of swap. I think it was just, tonight is the night. Once he goes in, then she go in behind him. You get the point? You go in while he's in there. It's dark. Don't think like this. Just think lights out. That candle go out, brother. See what you could feel. So good.
I didn't remember a ceremony for it either. But
I don't remember the alcohol part. I've heard people say it, but I don't think there was an alcohol part involved. I think people think that's what it is. If I do remember correct. Somebody find it for me real quick, all right? So we can move on with the baby.
I think a lot of people try to put that together because of the two sister situation.
Because people try to put it together because that in their mind, that's the only way they'll have sex with a woman they don't want.
Right.
You know what I mean? They had to be drunk, which is once again how marriages in the world happen. How did this happen? Blame it on the goose. Yeah. Watch him get loose. Blame it on the you understand? And now 9 months later. Yo, this is my side. Real nigga shit. This is my side. You get the point? It's stupid shit. But once again, this is not to correct Baby or Danley or whatever lie or whatever her name is. This is to correct you. Because them niggas got money. They coming back together. That baby ain't gonna suffer. You best believe that. But your cousin, your nephew, your brother, you gonna suffer. Right? Who else do you want with Laban? Read it for me.
This is Genesis chapter 29 and verse 22. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. 25. And when it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve thee? Did I not serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said,
now this is the way I don't understand that. Leah knew what the hell was going on. Which lets you know what?
Rachel had to know as well.
It don't say that, not that part. Leah knew what was going on. Like he ain't just sent her in with, Rary. She knows she going in there with Jacob. Which lets you know what? But she knows Laban working for Rachel.
So
the father knew, of course he knew, but Leah also knew, which lets you know what?
She wanted Jacob.
I can't say that part, but I could say she wanted a man. She was like, all right, does that mean he's mine? Which lets you know what?
She was cool with it.
Okay, not that part. That's true. She went in there and dealt with it. But something else. Compared to today. I should have finished the thought. Compared to today.
She trapped him.
No. It happens though. I'll tell you that shit. You're gonna get the I.S.U.P.K and you're gonna be like, hold up. Holy fuck. Yeah, I mean, it was of the Lord. Adam get the I.S.U.P.K. The scripture said deep sleep fell on Adam. What do you think happened? People think Adam was snoring and then there was this Eve. No. Adam went for a piece of tail that he would not have gone for normally. That's what we mean a deep sleep. Meaning like he was not himself. This is not who Adam would have married if Adam was doing Adam shit. Adam came into the truth and found some tail and it was righteous. And that's that. That's what it means. It's not, the Lord did surgery on Adam. You understand? A deep sleep falls on Adam. It's going, tell her y'all gonna be sleeping soon. I'm telling you straight. This nation gonna blow and you're gonna be like, hold up. I know I would have never dealt with this sister here in the world, but you're dealing with her in here now because you're different. You're a different thing. Okay, now that she trapped it, okay, definitely that's one thing to understand. Sisters will plot on you. The brothers think you're the masters of plotting. Nope. Nigga, you late. You're slow and you're late. I'm just put it like that to you. Right. You're slow and you're late. That side of the room there, that's chess, checkers, spades, poker. What's big whist. All the games you just had to read a manual for. They just better equipped at hunting. You get the point? In this context, they're just better equipped at it. But not that. What I mean to say is that we have as a people, we've fallen far from that standard. Right. Like she was going to get a husband and she wanted that husband. And that's that. She wanted to get it. Father says she gonna get a husband, she gonna get it. And she wanted to go get married and have a husband. The scripture don't say she knew that Jacob loved Rachel more, so she started giving him shit. No, she was just grateful to have a nigga walk through the door. Right. That was just that. Right. She's just grateful for that shit, and that's the end of it. You get the point? So Laban was trying to do what he could do so that this girl don't have to sleep and cry herself to sleep no more. That's just it. You're a father. You're gonna get tired of your daughters crying. You're gonna try to do what you could do for them. Right, man. That's what he was trying to do. Once again, you have to understand just think of it like this. Rachel ain't hurting for nobody to court her. everybody see her and want her. You get the point?
Right.
Somebody gonna be by for her tomorrow, and she's younger. She got time. This girl here is older.
Right.
She's okay. Think about it like this. Israel is youth. The culture is youth. You're gonna take a younger woman because it's just more time to do things with her. There's more time to bear children. There's more. It's just you have more time to build. Now, as she gets older, the value for the marriage it drops. Not the actual marriage, but in terms of your negotiating with the father, to the point where she'll either be stuck in the house, nobody ain't gonna want her, nobody ain't gonna want to pay what he wants for her. Because remember, she still never know no man. Right. She in the house learning from the father. He want, what is 30 years he have her in there, he want compensation for that shit.
Right.
But nigga, you got a badass 21-year-old back there. I'll pay double for her, but what you telling me to pay for Leah? I get half. You understand? I'm not so lucky. I meant to say that. But you understand what you just think Israel. Don't think, all righteous and pious, and I'll never do that. Bullshit. Right. That tail have you, your nose open. And then that's just it. Just think a brother wanted a woman. That's it. Don't put no religion on it. Right. Just think a brother wanted a woman, and you gotta factor all that in. Right. And Laban just trying to do the right thing. He's trying to, and you know how women are. We read about it in the Apocrypha with the girl who told Tobias married.
Yeah.
What was her maid servants telling her? Find it for me. Your sisters could be cruel too. And that's why I'm sorry. One fuck for this damn lady. It's a lot. There'll be some cruel ass monsters. But no sweat.
Also, I still have it queued up. Whenever you ready.
Okay, no sweat. Somebody grab that for the brother, all right? Is it how you got to the last name?
Officer God.
Good God, you could grab him again tonight? It gonna be kind of stretch. Oh, you're kind of tight. No sweat. Let me see if I can get. You might could. Let me see. I'll try to work. Bro, you got a room?
I got room. Nothing but to say.
You could run in?
Yeah, ain't no sweat for me.
Okay.
He's rolling out.
All right, no sweat. That'll work better. You know sweat. Give me Tobit, all right? Unless you're ready to roll now.
Oh, I can stay.
No sweat.
So Tobit chapter 8.
Chapter 3, verse 8. I got it, sir.
Please.
Oh, God. Tobit, chapter 3, verse 8. Because that she had been married to 7 husbands, whom Asmodeus, the evil spirit, had killed.
Right.
Before they had lain with her. Dost thou not know, said they, that thou hast strangled thine husbands? Thou hast had already 7 husbands. Neither wast thou named after any of them.
Keep going.
Verse 9. Wherefore dost thou beat us for them? If they be dead, go thy ways after them.
Yikes.
Let us never see of thee either son or daughter.
Okay, translate that for me to today.
Like, you don't know your crazy tail is killing all these niggas.
So,
It's like
listen, I ain't gonna lie. This scripture here make me watch. You know the original Candyman?
Yeah,
it make me watch that movie in a different. Anybody ever see the original Candyman? That white bitch was killing everybody. You know? Candyman did not exist. That bitch was killing everybody. Because you know, you shake your head like, yeah. Go watch Candyman over right now. Everybody who died in the movie, she waking up, oh, what happened? And blame it on a big black man? Bitch, you kill everybody. That nigga don't exist. Talking about Candyman. Everybody in the goddamn movie who died. She waking up. I don't know what happened. I blacked out. And isn't it locked up in that mental institute? What she do? Kill the warden and what? Blame it on some big black nigga? No, that sounds like Rosewood to me. That sounds like Tulsa, Oklahoma. That sounds like America. Yeah. That white woman was killing everybody. Go ahead.
If I may, I can't remember the story, but that sounds like the story when one of the Eves came up to Christ and was trying to speak in, and Christ was like, "Where are your husbands?" Like he kind of like insulted.
Okay, but she actually had her. She was a whore. Yeah, it's different. This girl, she didn't even have sex with the brothers. Right. That demon on her would not allow her to marry the men. Right. But that demon was in love with her. love her so much, she damn near in love with him. You understand? She in love with that thing,
Right.
and she's killing these men.
Right.
And these chambermaids or these maid servants is giving her the business for it now, right? Go ahead,
Cause so they were saying like, you don't know your crazy self been murdering all these men. It's like you might as well go kill yourself too. Like, you know, we don't want to see you have no kids. And then the sister started to put her hands on them, like started whoop their tails, and that's why they like, you know, why are you whooping us? You understand? Like,
say what? You think you're gonna beat us?
Yeah.
You gonna beat us like you beat them niggas to death in the room?
right?
Or you think we didn't know? Bitch, why don't you die?
Yes.
Go die and follow them, huh?
Right.
I don't want to see a son or a daughter from you,
Right.
which is, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Yeah, I mean, which is cruel, but this once again is Israel.
Right.
No, now they're seeing that these bodies coming out. They understand that this sister dealing with something that's just, you know, she dealing with something.
Right.
And they still cruel to her like this. Imagine what they would tell Leah, who ain't killing nobody. She just aging gracefully in her father's house. And think about what they would say to Leah.
Yeah.
The father don't want that for his baby girl, brother.
Right.
He wants her to experience somebody giving her attention like they would give Rachel willingly.
Right.
You understand? He wants that for her. You brothers, you're gonna get kids all the time. You're gonna realize you can't just buy candy for this one. You gotta buy this one, and this one. And if you get this one high five, you gotta go and get this one high five. And you're gonna have to do it because they have people and they have feelings and they're looking at somebody getting something they wanted too.
Right.
And as they get older, things gonna happen. Know who that is, whatever.
Right.
Her having somebody like that there ensures he doesn't go live with her first thing in the morning and the wife beats her.
Exactly.
Putting her out there like that. It's, you know, it's,
Yep.
cause nobody gonna come see him.
Yeah.
You understand? There's nobody who gonna come see him for this girl. So he thinks he could just do whatever the hell he wants. Meanwhile, he has a daughter though, which is a strange thing. Always turns and you got a daughter, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he had a son. I think it's 2 girls he got. And then his first one is a girl, and the baby with this girl is a girl too.
I know he got a boy too, sir.
You have a boy too?
Yeah, he got 3 baby mothers.
Okay, I didn't know about the third one. Golly, you doing it right? Go ahead, do your thing. Baby. We know you're not LGBTQ,
Right.
right? But he got 2 daughters. I know for sure he got 2. Because that first one he shot them niggas in Walmart for was a girl.
Right.
And then this one here with the little singer girl is a girl too.
Yep.
You know, what you gonna do? Somebody gonna do that and worse to your daughter. That's how it usually goes. Somebody's gonna do worse to your daughter to the point where you're gonna be like, what was all that for? But you don't remember what you did to somebody else's girl, which is different.
Right.
Once again, this is not for them. This is for you and me and your brother and your cousin and your uncle, because their story ends up different than the baby story.
Right.
Right. So we already covered the sexist marriage. He can't have a side piece. No. Give me the law with making babies, the unclean law for babies. right? Leviticus what, 15 or something?
Sorry, if I may too. When I was coming up, the fake Hebrew Israelite camps, they used to say concubines are going to be the heathens. Like those are concubines. Like you can marry a white woman, the East Indian. Those are your concubines.
Yeah, of course, because they just want to marry them. Just, you got to rewrite the Bible for it. Of course, a concubine is an Israelite. The concubine in the Bible, the biblical concubine is an Israelite.
Right.
He's not a heathen. All right?
Come on, God. I got it, sir.
Please.
Come on, God.
Leviticus chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman hath conceived seed and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation. For her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised, and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 3 and 30 days.
Right? So in total, it's how much?
40 days, sir.
40 days for a
40.
boy.
Come on, God.
All right, go ahead.
Come on, God.
She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary,
Right.
until the days of her purifying be fulfilled.
Right. She shall touch no holy thing, meaning anything within the school,
Right.
or the camp, or brothers, or stuff like in the wood. If she meet them at the store, it's different.
Right.
You get the point? But once it's within the work of the Lord, she can't come in contact with nobody. Right. Go ahead.
Come on, God. Verse 5.
Because I'll laugh, he got twins. That doesn't mean 80 days to God. See, you watch over there in Israel and laugh. So he said 80, take him to counsel. There's 40 days. Right? You just get 2. You get 2 for 1. Go ahead.
Come on, God. Verse 5. But if she bear a maid child, then
which is a female child.
Go
ahead.
Then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days.
Right, 3 score is what? 60? 66 plus 2 weeks.
It's
14 days, that's what? 80 days, right? So it's 80 days for a girl, 40 days for a boy. 80 days is what? Around what?
It's like 3 months.
3 months, right? Almost 3 months. His baby is about 3 months. Really, he ain't supposed to deal with her for that 3-month period. But guess what? If you're a husband and you in that days of separation for your rib, what you doing? I know what I did. I bought a calendar. It still has it for the first one. After that, I didn't use a physical. And I X'd out and I'll be like, oh boy, 5 more days, more tail coming. Deal with that thing right there. And you start to set up the anticipation for her because, of course, a woman who has a child goes through so many bullshit. It's just in her head, but to her it's real. You don't want to minimize it, but to her it's real. For that whole year before, her body's changing. Her body's changing. She can't walk the same way. She can't sit the same way. She can't get up the same way. She can't do nothing correct how she used to do it before. Her body has changed. She's putting on weight. Some women, the whole features change. Their face changes. The jaw comes out a little more. The shoulders change. The hips change. And women are very, way more carnal than men. Right. Go ahead. Women are more carnal than men. That body she had before, she's way more attached to it than you are. You get the point? Because why? How you know? You go have more kids with her, regardless. Right. But to her, it's like, I need to get back to that, that thing that you met. Right. And you try to let her know that shit ain't, what you tripping for? Yeah. But in her mind, this is something she deal with. Then you have all kind of postpartum depression. She probably, and of course, which would mean she had this baby during the COVID shit, right? Our sisters in here had babies in the COVID and was happy, and we was all in Vegas and Houston and Passover. They, of course, in the world scared and lockdown. That whole lockdown does something to you mentally also. Yep. You understand? You get cabin fever. You ain't going outside. People need to socialize. I don't know how much socializing they do. It's a whole ton. It's a whole psychology with pregnancy and having a baby. Now, of course, in the truth, you come up different. You learn things differently, and this is what our people need to learn. That the way around that, brother, you want to support her all the way through and give her something to look forward to. Give her something to, anticipate. Baby 3 months old. Now you could finally start back dealing with her. Who the hell knows what else you handling? Right. Now you bring that into the house. You should not do that. Right. You should not bring that into the play. Right. Now ain't nobody saying you have to now walk around all pent up and frustrated for 3 months. You could have another rib. Go ahead. But by all means, like at the end of that 80 days, you better come in there like, Samson, straight out of the damn wilderness, ain't eat meat for days. You gotta come in there like, you have desired and wanted her. And you can't come in there like, you just let off some clips at the range and, the magazine empty and you have, you can't do that, brother. You gotta come in there like, she gotta go, hold up, wait, what's going on? You gotta do that to knock Satan out of the room. Right. Because Asmodeus is there with her too. Right. Remember, Asmodeus wants your woman. That's what you always have to remember. Asmodeus wants your woman more than you want her. And that's the root of every single argument. You get the point? Right. Sisters, that time when you're sitting down there quiet and you're just, fantasizing in your head about the argument, you're talking to Asmodeus. I'm okay, a little help. You gotta recognize when Satan messing with you. And brothers, you gotta understand, half the time, it ain't her talking to you. Yeah. It's the TV, it's the radio, it's Maury Povich, it's, Oprah. It's not her. So, make sure you're cursing the demon out and not her. Because when the demon leave, she gonna say, but you told me I was so and so. You gonna have to be like, well, I wasn't talking to you. Mind the business. I'm talking to that demon.
So like I said, I remember when I first started coming to the school, watched it, I wasn't in school yet. First started watching videos, and I would get into my rib, and I'm like, shut up, Satan. And then I go back to the room, like, who else in here? Yeah, and I get to talking crazy, and I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her, and I'm not talking to you.
That's a few, but I want to try it out. Shut up, Beelzebub. Talking to? I ain't talking to. Move your head. Get out of here, Beelzebub. Damn ugly mother. I'm gonna try it out. You get the point? Like this was for him to do that. Once again, this is not to correct them, but this is to correct you. This is to correct your uncle, your brother, right. Your father, your nephew, who making the same mistake right now, who been making the same mistake. This is not such a big issue. It's only a big issue because they're celebrities. Yep. But our people going through this right now. You go on random nigga USA, somebody arguing on live right now over some bullshit. Okay. And this is the root. The root, you gotta get down to the whole root of the thing. That brother could have more than one woman. He still had to deal with the same one right here. That's right. He still had to go and deal with her right here. Judging from their timeline, this would be the time where he's now coming back to have sex with her again after missing having sex with her for 3 months. Notice I said missing, which means what? Come on, you gotta read between the lines. Come on, huh? So you young brothers here is picking up where I'm laying down. I'll talk about jive now. You pick it up what I'm laying down.
For getting her what we just read, chapter 12.
Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. It's coming to the end of the 3 months, which means you're gonna have to begin having sex with her again after missing having sex with her for 3 months. Right. What does that mean? Come on, Arawadi, I hear you laughing. Come on.
It's like you say that again. I heard what you said.
80 days separation. You can't touch it back. No. Don't do it. Right. Let the girl heal. A whole thing came out of her. Right. Let her heal. It's have mercy on the girl. Right. But it's at the end of the 80 days, right. Which means you can now start having sex with her again after missing having sex with her for 3 months. What am I saying? Come on.
Saying that you wanted to have sex with her, but he knew that he couldn't because that would be unlawful.
So, right, but how is he missing having sex with her for 3 months?
Oh, he's restricting himself.
Come on, you ain't giving. Come on, what these smooth niggas are?
not-
I ain't hearing these smooth niggas talking.
Salaki.
Come on.
It's not dealing with this other.
No, he better go deal with them out, but they're gonna be mad as shit. You think they don't know he just had a baby? He had to go deal with them.
Right.
He had to come back and deal with her too. This thing ain't a picnic at all. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like sir, if I may. He telling him, I can't wait to get you.
Go ahead, smooth now. Listen, don't be ashamed to let these young brothers know wisdom.
I can't wait to get you. You know,
Hey, that man today, he is sending her messages.
right.
Flowers, little chocolate, playing song, coming up behind her in the kitchen. Listen, this is as close as I can get right now. But you see this calendar here? When this red mark reach here, hell, run. You know what I mean? Like you setting up, it's the overlay for the underlay for the overplay. Correct? Kodasaya up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You setting it up once again. She gonna need to hear that. Why? Why?
Salaki, sir, if I may, to feel, you know, like she's attracted, you know, like her man wants her. You know,
why she need to hear it like that? Why she need to hear
so
that?
she can have confidence to move on. You know,
move on
like,
from what?
This nigga don't hate me. You know, like I'm his. You know.
Okay,
got a baby.
she know. Okay, let's put it like this. Y'all ain't beefing,
Right.
but there's something else there.
The love.
It's like
He has to go to buy white boys. The love. That's why I didn't want to answer. I didn't want to let these niggas know. after all the stinking Hamites, you go back in and turn into Rico Suave. Go ahead.
I'm thinking of it in a true way because 3 months, if you got a true sister in her mind, she knows that like she wants to please her man, but you have to wait for the. Like you said,
Okay, not only that, you gotta understand a woman's cycle. Let me get your plot. Go ahead.
Salaki, because you know, her going through her body changes to make her feel loved and sexy again.
Come on, you see what I'm saying? The two eras come together. Go ahead, Kazak.
Just keep away Satan. Keep away Asmodeus, because Satan is gonna play
She
with
waking
her
up, brother. Okay. After she doesn't get pregnant, the sister will tell you all the fluid flows down to their feet, their ankles. Their ankles get swollen up.
Right.
And then these compression shit to push it back up. You know, the stomach, the midsection is still, it ain't in the same proportion that, you know, it would normally be in. Right. You get the point? Who's that?
That's the wine, sir.
Okay. He should have gone in a while. You said him for something?
Nah, sir. He said he was straight back from wine. So.
Okay, no sir. Okay, no sir. Right. Remember, things is different for the sister. Right. You know what I mean? You know, that circles around her eyes because she's, you know, she ain't getting too much sleep. Her body's stressed out. Sodium levels going through the roof. Right. It's just, you know, it's hell. You know, she this sister here, she got twins. But usually, it's, you know, you gotta breastfeed one, the other breast leaking. Right. You know, the switch. Right. You get the point? It's so much, and she ain't, you know, that, you know, she can't pour on that Victoria's Secret and lay up in the bed for you no more. Right. So in her mind, it's like, man, this nigga, he surely don't want me after this. She looking at herself, she turning sideways. You gonna have to set the thing up. You gonna have to put in her back of her mind that, you know, you trying to go back for some more. What you talking about? Right. You know what I mean? I don't see what you seeing. You know, shut your mouth. Right. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Because, like I said, if I may, just going through that process just once with my rib, while we was going through it and the whole postpartum and all that, it really made me feel so sad, you know, for the sisters that have ran away their man or that doesn't have a man. Because like this is the time right here where it's like you're not meant to do this by yourself. And like you can see it as a man, you just watch. That's the time where I was like, shut up, Satan. Yeah. Because it's like there's certain things you can be said. It's like you should not be doing this by yourself.
You remember some years ago I said, you know, the sisters that threw the babies through the window and then dumpsters. Yep. I understand. I don't condone it, right, but I understand I understand the thought pattern that gets her to that point. Right. She's gonna need that brother there. She's gonna need that there to drive Satan away. Because guess what? He already drove the nigga away. Guess who else is competing for her love? That baby.
Right.
As Modi is saying, he don't care about Google and Gaga.
Right.
That titty belongs to him.
Right.
Throw that baby in the trash. Don't feed the baby. Starve the baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? Throw that baby through the window. Leave it with somebody who you're not going to destroy the baby.
Right.
Get the point? So much horror stories you hear, and you wonder, well, why would you do that? You don't understand Satan is in the midst of the whole thing.
Right.
Once again, this is not to correct the baby. I don't give a damn about him or Danny Lay. They're both right, they're both wrong. Who cares?
Right.
But this is for us. This is for our people who going through this, and it's much worse because we don't have money. Like they got money out.
Yeah.
They got money. Which nigga called the police for a domestic issue and he don't have to leave the house? I don't care if his name on the lease. I don't care if he bought the house cash. That shit don't go like that. That shit goes where they pull him and say, you know, you got somewhere to go. They talk to you real calm first. You got anywhere else to go? No, this is my house. Well, you know, she's baby, so and so. Let her blow off some steam. Pack a bag. They tell you, start telling you what to do.
Right.
Pack a bag. And you, for what? And you, listen, pack a bag. Come on, you gotta go somewhere else. You can't stay here. But this is my house. And as you start getting belligerent, now the things are coming.
Yep.
You get the point? And you know, now you all battered and beaten up. And guess what happens tomorrow morning after Satan left?
I'm sorry.
Now she angry.
Yeah.
About the whole shit. I was wrong, but you know, bitch, too late now though.
Right.
Get it going?
Come.
It's too late now. So learn the lesson, right? So boom, that's one, the pregnancy. Give me also, as you continue on now after that, give me due benevolence in, what is this, Romans?
I believe so.
All right. Any more questions online or anything?
I don't have anything, sir.
Yes, Corinthians, sir.
1 Corinthians 7,
And 3.
please.
God. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3. Let the husband.
Hold on, give me start with verse 1.
God. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
All right, so what's the first part talking about?
So I remember this one with, I remember General Yohana broke this one down. It's basically like saying like value the sister to the woman.
Let's go on. Go ahead.
General Yohana broke this one down a long time ago. He was just like basically just, it's like you valuing a sister. Like you don't even want to touch that sister that you for sure you're gonna make her your wife. That's how much you want to. That's how much respect you want to have towards that sister. Like if you ain't for sure you want to marry that woman, don't even consider touching her.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can we read it again?
Yeah, go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof he wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
All right. What are we talking about?
Well, towards the end, you know, don't let the bed get cold.
Okay, a little different.
Okay. The law to keep our nation from being whores.
Okay, explain the first wisdom. Right, so let me give you a good argument. Christian would say, in the beginning, the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. But Paul here is saying it's not good for a man to touch a woman. The Bible contradicts itself. Go.
It would be good for a man not to touch a woman unless he has to find out if that woman is available or not first.
I was kind of saying the same thing, but saying not to touch a woman. It says nevertheless to avoid fornication unless it's lawful.
Mm-hmm.
So let every man have his own wife,
You know, if he's married to her, that's his wife. And then let every woman have her own husband.
But then he still had to touch her, didn't he?
So like,
He still had to touch her.
but that goes for another man touching your wife.
Sis?
Is that in terms of like Paul, because he put all his effort into doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
So in situations like that, you know, if you can uphold not get married and just focus on work.
That's more what he's talking about. When you read this whole chapter,
right,
Paul was saying, I would not, he said, I speak freely. This is not from the Lord, but the Lord permit me to speak this. I would not that you all marry. Because a brother who is unmarried, his desire is what? Slavic?
No, I said to get married.
No. Slavic, let me say it again. A brother in the work of the Lord who is not married, what is his desire?
The Lord.
The work of the Lord. A sister who is unmarried in the work of the Lord, what is her desire?
To find a husband.
No, that's what it becomes.
Okay.
To do the work of the Lord. And that's what Paul wants. He wanted us to push the work forward. However, this is when he went into gifts. You have to have a gift to live like that in truth. Not everybody has that gift. Just like some brothers have a gift. I don't drink, and it don't bother them. You get the point? Some brothers have to be told not to drink because they have a problem. But imagine now, if you're a brother, I'm just using it for example, you have a problem with alcohol. You get the order to don't drink no more. It's going to be, you probably mightn't be able to sit at the table with other brothers while they're having a drink. Right. It's going to be just too much for you. But then there's another brother who is not drinking. He doesn't have to be told not to drink. He's just not drinking any alcohol. He's put that discipline on his own self. And he could sit and drink soda or milk while everybody drinking scotch and have just as much fun and not look at himself as any less or look at the brothers as they less or they more better than him. He just not drinking. Right. It's the same thing with marriage. Right. A brother could just be like, you know what? I'm Tawar. I'm good. And he has a gift where he does not need a woman the way another man does. Right. And another man might need a woman. Another man might need 10. And it's the same thing just like alcohol. One brother need one drink. Right. Another brother don't need none. Another brother need 100. And he had to be told to stop. It's the same situation where, you know, you're going to have a gift where you could just function. It doesn't derail you over time. It doesn't, you know, like that. I got to go get this knockout. Yeah. It doesn't derail you. You could function as normal. And that's what he was saying. He was saying, however, not everybody has that gift, right? To be a eunuch for the kingdom of Christ, right? There's two types of eunuchs in the Bible. One who's made a eunuch, either by birth or going to war, meaning his stones, his rod and wood got injured, or he's born with a deformity. He's a eunuch, so he doesn't have a desire for women. And then there's a eunuch for the sake of the kingdom, where he, for the sake of the kingdom, he does not take a woman. Why? Because when you take a woman, what happens?
Your desire, maybe not your desire, but your work increases.
Your work increases because now you have to put energy here and energy here. And that requires a ton of discipline too. It requires a whole ton of discipline. Remember, this is a little bit off topic. Give me Revelation, Salakia. Give me Revelation, is it 2 or 3? Yeah. Give me Revelations 2 and 4. But first, give me Titus 1 and 6. Is that what I want? No. 1 Timothy 3 and 2. 1 Timothy 3 and 2. Give me that first, then give me Revelations 2 and what else so forth. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife.
Say it again.
The husband of one wife.
Say it one more time.
The husband of one wife.
Go ahead.
Vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality.
All right.
And apt to teach.
And apt to teach, right? That's what Paul was saying for the requirements for a bishop or deacon, which means a camp leader and a second in command. Right? This thing like a captain officer or general captain. That's your 1 and 2. 1 and number 2. Must be the husband of one wife, right? Fake Israelites take this and read this and said that means every man should have one multiple wives is unlawful. If that was even true, not every brother is a bishop or a deacon. This would only be the requirement for a bishop or deacon. Even if the argument was true, that doesn't mean that for everybody else.
Right.
Some brothers, it's not bishop or deacon, they could go marry the hell off.
Right.
But they take this and say it's for everybody. That's not line number 1. Line number 2, this is not talking about a physical woman. Right. How you know that? What was Paul?
Eunuch.
He didn't have no woman.
Right.
But what was he in terms of bishop and deacon? He would be a bishop, meaning the leader or camp leader.
Right.
Remember, he built all them schools outside.
Right.
And it said, read the scripture again.
Verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife.
Maybe.
Must be.
Must be. I mean, Paul would have had to have one woman to even be in charge.
Right.
Paul didn't have any.
Right.
Christ. Did Christ have a woman? Then he couldn't be in charge because the bishop, the man in charge, must be blameless and must have one wife. It didn't say either or. Right. Because this is not talking about a physical woman.
Right.
Solomon couldn't be king if this was true.
Right.
David couldn't be king if this was true.
Right.
Jacob couldn't be in charge if this was true. Right. You get the point? This is not talking about a physical woman. This is talking about something else. Give me Revelations 2 and 4. Whoever have it.
Revelations chapter 2, verse 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast...
Read that again.
Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love.
Read it one more time.
Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love.
Right, this is Christ checking one of the schools. And he's checking the man in charge. He's literally checking the angel. The angel don't check the man in charge. And he said, nevertheless, I have something against you, because you have left your first love. What is the first love?
The work of the Most High.
The work of the Most High. That's your one wife. You understand? That's your one wife. That's your first love. You get the point? That comes before everything. That's the wife that if you take another wife, the work and the duty of the marriage and that cannot diminish. You understand? That's why he's saying it would be better if y'all just don't touch each other. Because the minute you all do, I can't make it a count. Oh, I can't, I used to cook so much, but I'll cook for him now. He eating all the food. You get the point? It goes there. Right. Which is why you just need to fish more and more because you have more hands on deck. Right. You get the point? And Paul is saying, I would that y'all don't just touch, y'all don't touch each other. Yep. However, not everybody have that gift. So to avoid fornication, what does that mean?
Sir, if I may follow the 6 month rule.
To avoid fornication, to avoid
unlawful sex.
To avoid unlawful sex.
Right.
Why would you have to avoid unlawful sex?
To not have possible abortions.
Well, that's true, but okay, what brings you to the point of unlawful sex?
Lust.
Lust. How could you not have lust? Focus, discipline. No, that's a gift. No matter how well you're taught it. Some people have it. Some people don't. Get the point? Right. You could be taught it and taught to a point. But after that teaching go, that's it. And some people just have that gift. Some of you just have that gift, they could do it. Just think the opposite. You could be taught how to get women. Then there's some nigga who he don't need to be taught that. He, you know, since he's a little boy like the godsons, you know, he giving them little babies, you know, he got grown women Google Gaga and from that age. What do you think gonna happen when he start talking? It's a wrap. You know how to teach him shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? He could go get it. You get the point? Where you would stop, you know, the 10 broads, you know, shut you down at night and say, yo, Akim, I'm off tonight, like, I'm cool, I'm heading in. This nigga, 10? Nigga, shit, that's a light day. Right. Where 11? Where's 7-Eleven? I'm coming. You know what I mean? Because it's in him to go get. Right. Just think the opposite would be discipline. It's a gift. Right. It's a gift to not listen to Satan, to just the room full of smoke and fog and yelling and screaming, and you could just be focused on this one thing. You could just zero in to the point where it just becomes amazing. Like, God damn, all that shit going on, you still doing this shit? Right. It's like, yeah, it's, you know, you just have a gift. But Paul knows that everybody has that gift. So to avoid unlawful sex, to avoid you all having sex with each other and throwing each other away, the abortions, rape, you know, lesbianism, the homosexuality, to avoid all that dumb shit, to avoid just, you know, turning yourself into a freak. Right. You understand? Because now your bed cold, he said, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, read on.
God.
Whoever was reading, please. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
Come on, I can take it.
Please, quickly.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband.
Right. Nevertheless, let every husband have his own wife, not somebody else's, and let every woman have her own husband, not somebody else's. Now, some fool might say, see, how could she have her own husband if multiple wives is lawful? Right? Break it down for me. Come on. See, I caught you. Come on, let me get you out, man. Come take us out. Go ahead, man.
That her husband is still her own husband, even though he might have multiple wives. That man is the only man that she is married to, having sex with, versus her having sex with a lot of other people.
That's it. That's the woman at the well we was talking about. The woman at the well, who when she said, "I have no husband," when Christ said, "Where's your husband?" "I don't have any." He said, "Yeah, you spoke good because you have 5." And you know, he said you have 4, and the 5th one, something that ain't even yours.
Yeah, God.
I think he said that. He said the next one is not even yours, which is how the whole thing happened. You get the point? That ain't her mind. She just taking, you know, get the point.
It's like precept will be Isaiah 4:1 though, where they say and all of them will have their own raiment. All of them will.
Not for this. What I'm saying for this part here, where he says, let every husband have his own wife. That's easy to understand. That woman is mine. She don't belong to somebody else. And every woman have her own husband. Some fake Israelite or some Christian would say, well, if multiple wives is fine, then how could every wife having her own husband be good? Because if that's her husband, how could he be another woman's husband? You understand? You know, you look like you don't understand.
I mean, in the sense of Isaiah 4:1, all of them were still, you know, doing their own raiment, their own food. They weren't worried about the other women.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay, but then they could say that this is countering that, the Old Testament versus the New Testament. You understand what I'm saying? Like they would okay, usually people who pull these kind of things on the one wife say the Old Testament is done away with. That way is off. Every man have one woman, every woman have one man. You get the point? That's what they say. This one here doesn't say every man has one woman. It says has his own woman. I can have 7 of my own, 10 of my own, 1 of my own, or none of my own. Every woman have her own husband. If she has her own husband, then the sister who is also married to her husband, then that would be wrong. That's what they would say. You understand what I'm saying? So now with that, I wouldn't go into the Old Testament to prove it. I would stay right here and say, well, listen, there's a woman who shares a man with seven other women, and she's only having sex with that one man, versus you and your mother and your auntie who effing the pastor, the deacon, the choir boy, the Uber man, the mechanic, the nigga who changing the bulb, the trash man. Who else? Who else did he having sex with? The weed. Oh, forget about the weed man. The weed man gets PUSSI. The weed, the plumber. Come fix these pipes, nigga. You get the point. Versus that she's having sex with not her own man, but everybody's man. You get the point? That's the difference here. But I see the point you making with it though. That's a good precept. However, when you're in these type of battles is Old Testament, New Testament battles. Tithes, multiple wives, the priesthood, Christ, and Paul is usually, when you come to the roots of it, the Old Testament is solid, we don't believe in the New. Right. Or the New Testament negates the Old. That's usually their basis. Right. So to battle them, you have to stay right here. You have to stay right there. It's like in a boxing match. You have to keep your foot in the tie. Right. You pull your foot out, they're going to say, nah, you can't do that. Right. You know, it's better to beat them at their rules. Right. You get the point? Come on.
So like I said, if I may, and what you're saying is so true, because I've got into this debate, and the people that try to justify what you just said, they always believe the Old Testament is done away with. So like you said, I will go right back to the point with if a bishop is supposed to be a blameless and have one wife, right? Then you now have to say if multiple wives is wrong, or you have to have specifically one. Then that means Christ and Paul.
That's where you have to go. You have to go right there. You have to go right there with it and make them say, well, he didn't want none. Exactly. Because that's the only thing they could say, well, why Christ didn't have a wife. Right. Why Paul didn't have one. Well, he didn't want one. God, you know, the church, the church or the body was his wife. You know what I mean? Right. Well, that's what the one wife is talking about. Exactly. And you got to make them, force them to where there's no other answer. Correct. And that's where you go with them. But I see the point you was making. That's good for in here. But when you're battling them and their ideas and their ideology, that may not work. You can pull it, but if they say, well, that's the Old Testament, you can say, well, this is true, but okay, I'll beat you at your game if that's what you want. You get the point? So, no, right. And then read verse 3 again. Whoever have it.
Come. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband.
What does that mean?
Let the husband and the wife render to each other the kindness that's owed to them, which is sex.
That's what benevolence means. Benevolence means kindness. Right. The due kindness in a marriage is the sex you all have. Right. Without that, brother, you really don't have a marriage. Right. You know, it's your roommates. You know, go ahead.
So like I remember Jeremiah Muhammad saying, "Sex is how you start the marriage and end it."
That's it. You know, that's it. Right. It's the sex is everything. That's why I say y'all could argue. If y'all could get in that bedroom and sweat and make that damn bed hit the dry wall, y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be good. Don't worry about it. Y'all gonna work it out over time. Y'all gonna work it out. The minute you looking at her like this piece of trash here, and she looking at you like, oh Lord, it becomes the minute it goes there, that's something different. That's something different. You're gonna need some help for it. It could come back in them, but too much time like that, that's the thing that makes you connected. Oftentimes after the sex, you don't even know what the hell you was arguing about. What was we even talking about? What's you saying now? Nigga, I don't know. Give me 5 minutes. You don't know, because that's what makes the marriage. You get the point? Right. Don't go push live. Don't do that shit. Right. Just get Satan out of the room. Go. Focus on getting Satan out the goddamn room. Now, sometimes getting Satan out of the room, it could take many different strategies. You know what I mean? You done seen some winters, you'll know a few of them. If you haven't, just call your camp leader. Right. Just, man, do it. I gotta go take a piss. Hold on. So, so yeah, so and so. Okay, this is what you do, bro. Then the scene switch.
Right.
And you fine. You're good to go. You get some counsel, you go back in there and handle a situation. And each situation is different. What works for Peter doesn't necessarily work for Paul. Right. You all heard that saying before. You get the point? It's not, you know, it's not just because you heard this brother do this one thing that means it necessarily works for you. Right. You get the point? It may not. It might, but it might not. So you're going to have to find out how to work this thing out. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of it all, you have to understand that you done marry these sisters. You know, you can't, you know, I would not go live on the shit unless you're attacking you with a goddamn knife. And before you go live, brother, you know, shit, call Esau, make the call first, then record everything else. Right. I would not do what that nonsense he's doing, even if it's for ploy. That works for them. Why would you put yourself out there like that? Right. Why would you, you know, your wife ain't Donnie Leah. She ain't got, you know, how much million followers she got? Or how much 100,000? Somebody check it real quick. Barack shake his head. You one of them. Let's go to my followers.
Checking it right now. 4 million.
Get the fuck out of here.
Following 0.
I did not.
Not even the baby. That's all I get.
Listen, I did not think that was it. You serious?
Got him 4 million.
4 million?
4 million, sir. 4 million. Yes.
She bigger than I thought, brother. Yeah, your ribbon got, you know, 400. You know, putting her on live is not going to solve your situation. You know, this girl here, she got 4 million people who's going to tweet and inbox. Think about how much NBA players done slide in her inbox already. Right. You need to stop messing with the baby and mess with the man. You know, he's 5'5". I'm 7'2". What you talking about? I got my bed is big enough for all of y'all. You get the point? Think about how much men done slide in there. You don't need that for you. Just don't go on the internet with the broad. Right. You get the point? Call for some counsel. Come into the UPK. Y'all say we this and we that, we hate women and blah, 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 blah. That's, you ain't never seen that with us, though. Yeah, and the arguments do happen. You know, this ain't, you know, some old, you know, young and restless bullshit where, you know, life is peachy perfect. The arguments happen. We perfect because we solve the problem, not because we don't have problems. We're perfect because we have a solution for every problem. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, like, on top of that, like what you saying, like as far as not even going online and going that far to like embarrass yourself, or the case may be, or humiliate yourself, like I done seen many times, like, you know, where brothers will go underneath and just say, just contact me or call your camp leader. Just the amount of care that's surrounded around us not putting everything on the social media case.
Listen, we have a solution for that. Even that part, even this whole call your camp leader, strengthen up, bro or sis, whoever doing it. Why do they even have to do that? Because somebody is going online. Why not just go and talk to the nigga? Right. Or go talk to the sister. Or just call your camp leader yourself. Right. Don't, you know, y'all, you know, Ephesians so-and-so says, you know, when thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare for temptation. Pray for me, y'all. You know, make some kind of subliminal post where people is, what the hell is going on with you? Yeah. Just call for some goddamn counsel, man. Don't, you know, life ain't a theater, man. It ain't a stage. You know, don't live your shit out like that. Have some integrity for your marriage, man. Right. Have some integrity for the thing. Build the thing strong. Right. You know, I mean, build it up the right way. Build the thing strong. Go get some counsel. Go get some help. And at the end of the day, two of you all done laid with each other. Y'all should be able to sit down and talk to each other. Yep. You should be able to do it. If you can't do it, you could get help to do it. However, that's something that's where the 6-month rule comes into school. That 6-month rule of the 6 months to a year, where every new brother or sister, again for me, read it for me on that announcement, please. SHALAM. Anybody have a Bible dictionary? Nobody have one on them?
We got one in the red bag.
Shit, you're supposed to have one on you. Get some bags and book bags and notebooks up in this class, right?
Come. New rules for brothers and sisters: when there is a brother or sister, when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. Mm-hmm. They are to be saluted only. They are to shut themselves to the world.
They have to shut themselves to the world, right? Any new brother or sister, they're off limits for 6 months. Does that mean a young brother coming to school, you can't go out, he can't come to the restaurant with you all to eat?
No.
Does that mean a new young sister coming to school, she can't, come straight? When I say y'all, I know with DC is the brothers outnumber the sisters way more. But this thing is, there's sisters and brothers. And everybody going to Top Golf or somewhere else to eat and have fun some day, some off day. Does that mean that? No, this is in context. This is in context of that.
Right.
You get me? They're off limits for you to press up on them.
Right.
They're off limits for you to go, wag that tail around the brother, or for you to, lean over, hey, sis, you need any help when she's seeing all your damn chest hairs and smelling your cologne. All that slimy, nasty bullshit. You gotta stop that shit.
That's right.
That's what this is for. You get the point? Go ahead.
Okay.
After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6.
After 6 months, if they have an interest, they get into talk. Now, of course, the baby and this girl, I don't know if they went through any sort of courtship. I don't know if anybody has authority over this marriage, but in the UPK, there's authority over your marriage. There's authority. You had to get the approval from somebody to have sex with each other. You get the point? This thing is legit and documented and damn near, permission. Not damn near, but it is permission.
Right.
There's authority over your marriage. You get the point? And it's like a default. It's damn near like, okay, you bought a car, the car is yours, but if something go wrong, who you take it to? The dealer.
Right.
You get the point? Who you went and negotiated to for the damn car. He know the car the best.
Right.
You get the point? There's authority over your marriage. There's no authority over this shit here.
Right.
Because ain't nobody saying, nigga, what the hell you doing? Take that shit down.
Right.
And that don't even have to be her father. Take that shit down. She in the back arguing and cursing about, put me on speakerphone. Shut your mouth. Shut up.
Right.
That's the end of that. You go in your room. Brother, you go downstairs. I'm sending a car to pick you up. Y'all don't talk to each other for about 2 hours. We sort this out.
Right.
That's that. It happens. It happens like that because somebody has authority over it.
Right.
Because when it gets to this point, somebody who is neutral, who is not swayed by her tail or swayed by this brother, could step in there and say what's what. You get the point? Because both of y'all can't say what's what to each other.
Right.
There's no leader there. There's just whoever doing whatever the hell. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say, and that's so righteous, it's so needed in the black community. You can see what it does. Without that, what you just said, is with all of the topic of class and the black, how our marriages are, and how just what it is that goes on in our marriage, from abuse, from abuse to drug abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, the whole 9 yards. That's so needed. You understand, for our brothers and sisters right there to have somebody that's unbiased to step in. They can save the marriage because out of personal experience, it's 9 out of 10 times it's not even that deep. You know what I'm saying? It's something that can always be solved.
It's never that deep. It's just Satan. Both of y'all listening to Satan. Both of y'all listen. You know what it is? It's down there like both y'all commit a crime and you in one room, she in the other room, and the cops coming and telling you one thing and they're telling her something else and then putting you back in the same. That's really what the hell it is. And somebody needs to be there to say, no, that's not what he's saying. Says, listen. Say, brother, you hear what she just said? You ain't hearing her. And somebody's able to, translate your language because you're not speaking in a language each other could understand. Right. Somebody needs to translate it and you be like, oh, all right, I understand. Of course, she'll be like, all right, you understand? Right. Now you move forward.
I was going to add on to what Officer Barack was saying. I was happy because so-called white man and women, they have free counsel to keep their marriages together, but we don't have that. We got stuff that separate us apart, like hip-hop wives, housewives, and they watch it, they picked it up, and it just separated us. Exactly.
Their standard is, they live by a different standard. I don't think their marriages don't fall apart too. Their marriages fall apart way more horribly than ours. Right. If their marriages fall apart, brother. You remember Lorena Bobbitt?
Yeah, come.
Yeah, that nigga wasn't black. Neither was she. She cut that shit off and threw that shit out the goddamn window. And they ain't got no rudder. None. You get the point? So their marriages fall apart too. It's just as a society, they have a certain standard that because we're trying to integrate and be like them, we give it up and we try to be like them. You all remember when you all had them young girls. You had your Miley Cyrus and your Taylor. So when they was young, they was allowed to do certain things in Disney, and but once they start maturing and reaching that woman age, when they want rod now, America didn't like when they was doing certain shit. America kind of went against some of the shit they was doing. And that's because as a society, they're not going to condone it. We try to follow them, and now we let our society go down that direction. You get the point? We went down and do that type of thing. And it should not be done. The 6-month rule helps with it. The year rule helps with it. Because it gives you all a chance to be friends, man, and value each other. You understand? And value each other. Oftentimes, you would find where the marriages fall apart is because you don't value this person no more. At one time, you did, but you was valuing them for the wrong reason. But now, you don't. None of that shit before matters to you. Now, that don't matter. That don't matter. Whatever offense came, offenses come. But goddamn, nigga, it's, so much hours, so much time you'll have before. You're just gonna throw that shit out. You're gonna throw that away. You don't, as you say, you're saying you done taking pictures with the broad all over in a way that he wasn't doing it with nobody else. She with him. She done had his child moved in his house. Now, for whatever reason, is out. No, y'all two need counsel, just like my uncle, just like your cousin, just like your older brother, just like your young sister. You need counsel. They don't have it. They really need to come in the UPK and tell that dumb big teeth nigga, take that shit down.
That's right.
That's what happens in here. Somebody go on the internet and do some shit. I'm so sick and tired of this so-and-so. Make some subliminal statement. Don't you just hate it when husbands do so-and-so? Husbands? Which you know one nigga. Where the S come from? But once again, you're trying to do something. Right. Brothers is like, some old dumb shit. I don't need a bitch need me. Some old shit. Just, take that shit down now. Take it down now. And if you don't, somebody will take you to counsel, and then it'll just lead right back to the marital problems. Your marital problems should stay in the bedroom, man. And then somebody should call who has authority over the marriage. And then work the shit out. But it should not be for open air judgment. It should not be for that. That's a shameful thing to do. Sorry.
Slocky, when I was in the world, I was taught that, between you and your woman, it's better if you keep that between y'all, because when you start, you let her tell her mother and her grandmother and everybody, you telling all your folks, your friends, then you got 1,500 opinions when you and that you know her, she know you, and y'all could have solved that job.
Too many cooks spoil the pot. I hear you, and 99% that is correct. In the truth, however, who is her aunt?
Who is her aunt?
In the truth, who is your father?
Would be the man above you.
Who is her auntie?
Say the same.
Yeah. So then you call that aunt or that father, that uncle, which would be somebody who have authority over that marriage, who believes in the same thing. In the world, that auntie done had 10 niggas and believes every one of them niggas wrong and she was right. So the council would be a whole council. In the world, that uncle, he, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. So the council would be that broad with, she was just a hoe anyway. Remember when she met you, so and so and so, and you could have been with this broad for years. When you met her, she was one way, but somehow you all dig yourself out the mud. And now the council is to destroy the shit because their lives is destroyed. It's different in here. Go get some counsel. In here, it's different. It's absolutely different. If it gets to that point, you understand? I'm saying I go ring off the phone for every little thing. But if it gets to that point where you realize this thing is, let's go get some counsel. But you all both had to understand the marriage can't end. You get the point? It can't end. It's, 2 hands to clap. You're both going for counsel. Now, of course, you all both go for counsel, only one person show up. This already a sign. It's still going to try to be worked out, but it's already a sign that this person not only doesn't this person respect you or your union, this person does not respect the authority in which this union happens. And that's life. It's not just biblical. That's, you go to some court, divorce court. One spouse summons the other spouse to court. One person doesn't show up. What happens to the person who doesn't show up?
It's like you said, like court-wise?
Yeah, court.
If the other person don't show up, they will drop the case and they will go in favor to the person that came.
Okay. No, not that part.
They will issue a warrant to the person that didn't show up.
Yeah, because why?
Because it's contempt
Of the marriage?
Of court.
Of the union?
Of court.
Of the authority
right.
over that marriage.
That's right.
In Esau's kingdom, the authority over the marriage is that court. That's where you get a marriage license. Right. You get the point? Even if you do it in a church, you still have to go sign some paperwork with some official there and a witness. Yep. And they have to go to the court and they print it out and blah. Right. That's the authority over your marriage. And here, the authority over your marriage is your camp leader or one of the generals. Right. Whichever general approved the marriage. Right. When it's time to get married, brother, that evening, before you go tie fire to that tail, both of you are going to be on the phone or in person before a man of the Lord. And both of you are going to give your word that this sex means something. You get the point? That's right. You're going to give your word. Because now when later on, when you get weak and get full of pussy, whether it's a man or the woman, and get ready to walk out, it's going to be brought back up. Didn't you say this in front of so-and-so that this meant something? Right. What happened? It's going to be brought up, but there was a witness. But this is the authority over your marriage. Right. So I understand what you're saying. In here, it's different because we not your auntie who have a cigarette problem. We not your auntie who, some niggas show up at the right time with some camels, he getting the box. We not that grandfather who can't give up some scotch. Yeah. You understand? We not him. He can't give up the scotch. 1 minute, he talking about, you need to get a righteous woman like how your grandma used to be. But then as soon as the young tail pass, look at that young tail. Ooh, how you doing, girl? You. Well, F you then, your hoe. They're a bunch of hoes. We ain't him. You ain't caught up behind no goddamn tail over nothing. So, of course, when you come here and you get the counsel, you're going to get the counsel void of lust. The counsel it's contractual. It's a contract. There's no getting out of this. First things first. That's right. If you think you come in here for a reason out, you're wrong. Right. This is now, what is the problem? Who said what? What is this about? What is that about? Oh, so all this is over that time when he glanced at some broad? Or brother, all this is over. You think who she talking to, some nigga? Is some other problem that just creep its way in and is going to get solved again if it comes to the right authority. Right. You want to take your chances with your auntie or your uncle or your big brother or whatever. Go ahead and, play that game if you want to. I've had great success in here and not one outside. Right. I'm gonna take the chances right here. I'm already in here and I get whatever comes till I get in here. Right. That shit out there, you ain't gonna have me like the baby. Hey, Shalom, y'all. Look at all this picture. Y'all see what she doing? Y'all ain't gonna see none of that. I'm just not treating all my women like they my personal concealed carry. You don't see them until it's time to flash. Right. But I ain't doing all that dumb shit he do. That's absolutely ridiculous. And again, it's an example that we follow in the world. Yep. We follow that Jada and Will, that J-Lo. Yeah. That J-Lo can't one day without a nigga. Yeah. She need rod. She had a rod. She went for another rod. I told you nigga name was a rod. That's supposed to be enough. You know what I mean? And listen, I'm making a joke because she said it. She said she doesn't do well alone. She says she has to have a man. And she does not do well alone. So separation and we on a break, that shit don't work for her. Which means what? She needs to always feel desired. That's a dangerous trait to grow up in your daughters. That's right. No. If that's the case, you're going to hope. Yeah. Go ahead.
Besides A-Rod, they always say to me, she was dealing with whatever a man from whatever field she was in. When she was doing music, it was Puffin. When she was doing acting, it was the record.
When she back with Ben Affleck, no, she ain't doing shit now. So what I mean? Well, he ain't doing shit either. So I guess you're right. They're all in the same field. But you get the point. Like this is something where Israelites had to come into the truth and learn how to, have a normal, healthy, functional marriage and not be so goddamn dysfunctional. This shit here was just so poor.
Right.
Like this bro, you could tell first thing in the morning, she looking a little rough. I think fresh ugly, but she rough and he over there just, come on. This your child's mother. You don't embarrass her like that. But black women have been doing that to black men forever. Showing that nigga in his boxers, half naked. Sometimes he wake up drools. Look at this nigga, get up, nigga. So you know what? You know, if you didn't like it for us, don't like it for you. You know what I mean? But if you like it for us, then Danny Lay had to take this one on the chin. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It's like if I may, sir. Part of me, I'm praying that this is truly real, because the impact that this is putting on our people, especially the ones that are young teenagers and that's in that age group, like to them, you are further solidifying the idea of this is how to do it. Yeah, this is how you're supposed to do it. Like I remember, like Baby coming up in the hood, like Baby Boy was like a hood classic for us. Right. And once I got older, until I realized the impact that it didn't have. Like it was kind of like it portrayed what we was going through, but at the same time, it solidified. Like this is normal when it was not normal. And so it's like, I hope this is real and that they just was going through something and they just trying to work it out versus this was just a damn stunt, PR stunt for an album, because it's like they don't understand the impact that this is putting on the young minds.
Listen, I don't give a damn if it's real or not. Salaki. I hope this class is real and gets to every black, every Negro and Negress, and Latino and Latinas, and First People O and First People S. Every brother and sister in the 12 tribes need to see this, so you understand that the celebrity is acting like that. Nigga, you not a celebrity. You can't act like that. Like that's where we ought to go. We ought to go back to logic. They're rich. I'm not. They're acting like that. I can't act like that. Because me and them is two different people. And you have to take that to your oppressor. Your oppressor does certain things. I can't do that because he's white and I'm not. He's in charge and I'm not. He lynched my grandmothers and I'm the son of my grandmother. You gotta separate yourself so much from what you're seeing in order for your house to be whole. You understand? Like that's where it had to go. Now, personally, I think it's a publicity stunt. They're gonna be back and fine. But your auntie though, that little cousin you have, I can't say that for them. You're gonna have to see them in jail. You're gonna have to hear that brother cry about child support. Let me find this in the Bible dictionary and we close with this one, right? Read the scripture again. From verse 3 onwards, please.
The first
quickly.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Verse 4. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife.
Right, what does that mean? No, pass it to the brother right. Just hold it. The spine is weak, all right? So hold it right. But just give him the part, show him where to read with the highlighted part. I'll let you know when I want it, all right? Go ahead.
Like that, like you were saying, like when the bedroom get cold.
Just pass it to him, man. He gonna get it. He gonna get it. This should be highlighted part.
When the bedroom get cold, things start to happen. But you can't just not have sex with your wife. It's not just if she wants you supposed to give it to her, and vice versa.
That's the spirit of it. The spirit of it is not hold each other ransom. Don't hold each other ransom over some dumb shit. Don't do that to each other, because why? What happens? What usually happens?
Satan starts to come in and take all types of things.
And then what happens?
You start, like adultery be involved. You start going out.
You're going to have sex somehow. You can't remember the meme? No PUSSY for you tonight. No PSI from you tonight. Remember that meme? Everybody was like, okay, she ain't giving you none. Well, I'll go get somewhere else. Now that's somewhere else. Are you going to marry that person that night and now that's your second wife? No, that does not how that happens in the black community. You go get because you need to get, which is the lust is so strong, which is why Paul said, let them marry. And as they marry, remember, this you can't now stop giving each other sex. You're one sex now, which is how it usually happens. Because you there on Facebook or the Instagram, forget the Instagram, and then 30-second clips, brother, is witchcraft. It's absolute witchcraft. You watch anything and you flicking and upside down, and she is photoing and showing you everything, and you watching and you want to have sex with her so bad. Does the picture tell you if she could cook? No. It says, does the profile tell you if he eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster? No. All you know is you want to have sex. So Paul is saying, okay, just know that after you all get this out of your system, you all can't now decide to not have sex with each other. You all can't do that. You can't make up no excuse. You're going to have to give in to each other. And the wife has power over the husband, but he does not have power over his own. The husband has power over her, but he does not have power over his own. She doesn't have power over her own. Does that mean that he can come and physically take it from her because he has power over her body? What does that mean? What does that mean? If you can't explain it, then you're lying.
Oh,
that would be rape. If you physically take it. So what does it mean the wife does not have power over her body, but it is the husband?
So, I mean, that's his property.
So what does that mean?
So that means like if you buy her, if y'all have a connection, like both, you know, basically y'all gonna get it on.
I ain't going to know all this kind of
right.
I'm gonna lay it down. It's level 2. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Right? It's saying this. It's saying a sister can't just be selfish and not give the brother what he needs.
Right.
It's saying, brother, you can't now be selfish and not give the girl what she needs. Right. You tired? Ain't nobody tell you to be tired. I don't care, 12-hour job, 10-hour job. You know, you are gallus. You know what gallus is, right? That was Benjamin Williams. You are gallus, like a pianist or what's some other ist? A violinist. You know, but a womanist, that's something different. That's something like them feminism shit. Yeah. You know, a gallus is like a pianist, like an artist. Like an artist. What's an artist? Somebody who is good at painting. Well, if I'm a gallus, what am I good at? Gal. Salaka. Or you are gallus, you got a woman. Or you tired? You better not go say that shit out. Right. You better go down by 7-Eleven and drink the whole case of 5-hour energy. I don't care. You go in that room like, you go in that room fully alive, you're going to have to give her what she wants out. Right. You're going to have to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to have to always be willing to give each other what each other need because it's lawful. Go ahead.
No, so like I was just shocked at the word you said because it was a sister at my job. She called me a gallus. What the hell is that? That's an actual word. Like I didn't know what a gallus.
Okay, it's Benjamin slang. Some brother make a song gallus, but he explained the shit like a real simp. That's not whatever he explained. That's not what the word means. He says like you're her best friend. You talk to her. That's not what that is. A gallus is a nigga who's lays pipe everywhere. Easily. The broads fight over him. This is not, the gallus ain't Dr. Phil, somebody who she could talk to. Right. That's not what she calling him for.
Go ahead. The Judite sisters, they be like, yo, you for everybody.
You for everybody. You know what I mean? You get the point. It's different. So it's like that. You can't, that can't come in. You know what I mean? Now, of course, within reason, she ill, she feeling sick, she have a headache, ain't no sweat. No worries. It's tomorrow. You discipline. One night ain't gonna make or break you. Right. Don't leave the house angry and go by the other bro. Don't do that shit up. Don't do that shit up. What are you doing that for? Just wait the shit up. Help out. You know what I mean? Go in there, massage her neck, do some kind of thing to relieve the stress. She might tell you, come on. This headache might be related to that thing. I'm sure if I get that, the headache gonna leave. You gonna have to work the thing out. You get what I'm saying? You gotta work the thing out. Because at this point, it's a duty. This is not how I feel. And that's one thing we ought to realize as a people. Marriage ain't got shit to do with feelings. If marriage is about feelings, like you don't have a marriage. You don't have them. You have weather.
Right.
It's like how today feels hot. Tomorrow will it feel hot? Nah, it might be cold. It might be sunny. It might be wet. It might be stormy. You have weather. You ain't got a marriage. Go ahead.
Now you want to say like it show them that you love them, like you got to suffer them, like suffer.
That's right. But however, the suffering, you can't make it seem like it's suffering. You got to make it seem like, you got to put some honey on top of that suffering.
Suffering in the Bible is like tolerate, right?
You can't make it seem like you're tolerating it either. People are perceptive. You perceptive, right? And you, like people's voice and inflection, you be like, hold on, he said so and so, but it don't seem like she picking up that shit too. You can't let on to that. You can't, your shoulders can't even drop like disappointment. You can't do none of that shit. She's seeing all of that. You have to bring it, even if you're not feeling like it. And the same thing for the sisters. It can't just be like, all right, come on. No, because you better get excited. Go, I don't know what you got. Go drink, eat the coffee powder if you have to. Forget brewing it. Eat it. And get some, get some juice up in it. Go shock yourself, whatever. But you better come in there like, I mean something. Like you gotta go there with it. It takes a certain amount of discipline, humility, and of course, over time, you could develop a healthy marriage. Over time, you get the point. You gotta put your time in. Marriage is a long-term thing. It's not, you quit at the drop of a first dime. You get the point? I seen you saying both make some statement like he said he trained his whole life for something that ends in 10 seconds. And he said how his first Olympics, he placed 5th. He wasn't even the fastest. He said he trained his whole life for something that ends in 10 seconds, and people give up at the first time they run into a problem. He said it always baffles him because track is a individual sport. And there's little reward. There's much more pain than there is reward. They run until they vomit every day. You go watch track athletes train. That's why they look the way they look, because it's a lot of pain. And it's 9 seconds, and it's done. All in 4 years of hard training, and that's it. But imagine somebody who puts some time in, and the first little thing, you're ready to, it's ridiculous. Right? This is about duty. Give me that last one there. This whole thing down is real good, all right? Anybody want to continue reading? Give me the last one there. Bible Dictionary, quickly.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 345. Marriage is an intimate personal union.
Say it again.
This marriage is an intimate personal union.
Now, I know intimate and Instagram start with the same word, the same letter, but it's not the same. Marriage is an intimate personal union. It's not for Instagram. It's not for Instagram Live. Go ahead.
To which a man and woman consent.
To which a man and woman consent. Of course, that debunks the whole you could take it, rape, all that dumb shit. Both of you are going to come before the person who has authority over your marriage and consent and say, yes, this is what I want. Right? Go ahead.
Consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
Say that part one more time.
Consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
What does consummated mean? Look it up if you don't know. Quickly. Look it up if you don't know.
Like join together?
Give me a full definition. Make me find it before you.
Consummate. Make a marriage or relationship complete by having sexual intercourse.
Give me something else. That's the only meaning?
Let me go to the Merriam-Webster. Consummate.
I'll take that one if that's the only one.
Contractual agreement.
Because even in Esau's kingdom, when you all sign that paperwork in the courthouse, if you all never had sex, the marriage is void. So it's not even a contractual.
I got a couple here. It says extremely skilled and accomplished of the highest degree.
Right.
To make perfect.
Right. That's what you want. To make perfect. Extremely skilled or accomplished means at the end of you go to school. Right. And you get your degree, consummated that thing. Right. It's sealed now. It's complete.
All right, good.
Joined is fine, but this is complete. This is perfect. Right. The marriage is made perfect by what? Sex. and not just sex, but what? Consummated and
continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
It must be continuously fed. That's what nourish means. It must be continuously fed. Like a baby. You feed a baby if you want the baby to grow. The food of marriage is sex. And if that ain't happening, you're starving your marriage. I don't care, your best friends, you all draw, you all color coordinate. None of that shit matter. Something had to go at night. Something had to go. Something had to, she had to give in and you had to give it to her. It has to go there. Without that, the marriage is going into the grave. Go ahead.
We can read it again. I mean, the last part again.
No sweat. Go ahead.
Go on.
Tell them what page it is to.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 345.
All right.
From the top, sir.
Please.
Marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
Right? Consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
Right.
This brother here had the baby with the girl. I don't know what was going on while the baby was in there, but shortly afterwards, I know he had to be a nasty motherfucker going there after. So girl healing her. What could so but it must be continuously nourished. So instead of going on Instagram Live, tell everybody leave the room and help the girl out. She needs something. She needs something to, she needs a bolt of lightning into her to just help her wake the hell up and feel refreshed again. Right. To feel wanted and desired. Instead, you go on the damn internet and tell everybody you don't want to get out, you're a side chick. You're destroying our marriages. Forget about yours. You could buy her a brand new Bentley, she'll be back in your bed. But Pookie in the hood, he can't buy that for you. Right. He had to borrow money for the Uber for Keisha. He can't afford to do that shit. Listen, y'all humble yourselves down, man. Pride is the killer. Humble yourself down. Talk that shit through. If you can't work it out, call for counsel. At the end of that, y'all better get in that bed and make the bed rock. To play the song, I can make it bed rock. Make that bed rock, man. That thing is the foundation of the marriage. It helps. Y'all do that sexting thing. Y'all do throughout the day. You had the slave. She had the slave. Sandy brought some flowers. Help the girl out, man. She needs it. She needs it. And sisters, you'll help them brothers out. Them brothers need it too. They might act like they don't need it, but they need it. You get the point? You need it. You get the point? So don't follow, baby. We grown men up in here. You understand? We're absolute grown men. And that shit don't work for us. That Facebook shit, you call the cops and say, yeah, get her out. Nigga, you going. They taking you. So like, with that pass class over, please officer shit back.
Security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. The Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, 25th day of the 9th month by a space of 8 days. Sunday, 28th November 2021 for 8 days. You find this in Maccabees, 1st Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. Slocky, sir, do you want to say something about the Passover?
Passover, April 15th and 16th, Friday, you have it? Yeah, go ahead.
Come. I.S.U.P.K 53rd annual Passover is Friday, April 15th, 2022. Feast of Unleavened Bread, April 16th, 2022. We have April 15th and 16th. Space Coast Convention Center, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida. 32926 is the area code.
Right, everybody just pay attention for hotel info, all right? Go ahead.
Remind Akim and Akwakim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother or sister wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and scarf. And with that, I say Amaju, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat. Amaju, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathah.
Yahweh Matah. Since you may stand. Saul, which means to turn. Since you may stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat. Imagine, Barak.
Yahweh Shema Alatam Ba'Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Matah, class and Smith.
Shut this down already?